now. Is this Greg beatboxing in the background or what? No, it's just licensed music.
We are live.
Welcome to the next dimension in entertainment. Coming to you live from the offices of Chapter One Films in Charlotte, North Carolina, this is the 4D Podcast with your hosts, Greg Prinz, Nathaniel Levinson, and Marco Brutus. Sit back and enjoy a deep dive into film. This is the 4D Podcast.
I wonder if the raccoon that keeps jumping on your hood is watching tonight.
Unsubscribe, Mr. Raccoon. And also,
he's
something I can't say or YouTube will ban us.
He's probably the one that said gay take.
It's
the raccoons.
He just pops out of the trash can. Gay take. Honestly, Greg, what's the raccoon wrong?
I would have more respect for that raccoon if that was his one comment. His one contributing factor to our show was just gay take. Gay take. To explain that, well, let's first explain to the people. So today is September 23rd.
We're good at our jobs, guys.
We're happy
we
you're
know
here.
what day it is. We're on the ball.
We are celebrating the movie birthdays of The Shawshank Redemption and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. We'll be talking about those today. If you're watching along and you can't type a comment or
You're a
interact,
raccoon and you need to die.
it means you might be a raccoon. It means you
if
might.
you are a raccoon, please
Then apologize.
Jump in a hole that doesn't have a bottom or has lava in the bottom.
Apologize to Nathaniel's hood because you keep running all over it. No, but if you
Literally just muddy
if you can't
poppers
comment,
everywhere.
please subscribe. Then you can join us in the show. We want to hear what your thoughts are. We want to interact with you. And we got a special visitor today. We got Spencer Gaston in third seat today. Special guest host. We're happy to have you here, Spencer.
Quite the applause, Marco.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here, Spence. And
You do have to get a little closer to the mic.
yeah, if you actually want to
I
say,
can hear me.
you say real things.
You can
There
do this.
go.
You can do one of these. Just like,
Yeah, you need to put
we need longer XLR cables so I can be more lazy.
like that. It's like maybe an inch or two.
Fist
Yeah,
away.
that's
So,
about
what you-
right.
But
Alright.
okay, so if you really want to do it right and make Greg mad, you get really close.
No.
like this, and
I already, asked
I'm just
him
gonna-
how
I'm
much
just
it
gonna-
cost to nibble on it a little.
Oh, see, the thing is, Marco, you're already too late. I've already bothered Greg, and I've
Yeah, I know.
succeeded. I win.
I know.
I win.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we won't be bothering Greg today. That's not the purpose of today's show. Today's show, we're going to be talking about
Isn't it the purpose
Butch
of everything? It's
Cassidy,
like
the Sundance Kid,
subtext.
and
That's
the
purpose of
Shawshank Redemption. So it's going to be a great show. Spencer brought gifts. Marco brought gifts. We're happy. We're enjoying.
me
We're enjoying
Gifts
our
to the world.
coffee, if you will.
Infinite simplicity. Is that supposed to be oos?
No, they're
Or
not
cos?
paying.
It's an infinity symbol and then two S's.
You can't say that.
They're not paying.
Wait.
All right, Marco.
I'm just baffled
kick us
by
off,
this.
bro.
All right.
Where are we going?
So we
Give
are
us
going
direction.
to. We're obviously, like you said, we're going to be talking about both of the movies today. We're going to be talking about Shawshank Redemption and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. As always, the first thing that we are going to do is give a quick recap of the Shawshank Redemption. The first thing I'm going to do is ask, because I didn't do this already.
So,
Who's it gonna
Marco,
be?
I just
Who's
want
it
to
gonna
point
be?
out.
It
I
is
just want to
going-
point out.
yes.
You can truncate this segment by just saying, "I randomly generated a number between."
Yes, but I forgot to do that. So we're gonna
done.
Quick, Spencer,
give
think of a
me
number between 10 and 60.
between.
12.
Nope, we're gonna.
Spencer's
12.
got, I mean,
Oh, honestly,
12.
yeah, I'm cool with it. So here's the 12. 12 is the number. So
Woof.
here's
Well,
the
who do
here's
you
the.
have doing- who
We're
do you
gonna do Nathaniel.
oh, thank God. 12 seconds to describe Shawshank
Yes.
I can
Redemption is a
describe
crime.
again.
So-
I can one sentence the Shawshank Redemption. It doesn't do it justice,
So
but I
here's-
can give
here's
you a
the deal.
12-second recap.
So just a quick understanding of how this works. So Nathaniel will have 12 seconds in order to give a synopsis of the movie The Shawshank Redemption.
All right.
As I get I'm just totally not prepared today. I am truly sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Had to. My brain was struggling with Andy's name. It's Andy.
Okay.
I got there. That's kind of important.
Right
so,
then.
So while you think on that for a second, just to be clear, I'm glad this is not me.
Marco.
Because any
Change camera
description,
angles.
Yes, thank you.
description of anything for me is going to take us way off subject.
That's okay. That's all right. Here we go. 12
All right.
seconds. Are you ready, sir?
Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Andy Dufresne gets accused of murdering his wife and her lover, gets thrown in jail for 20 years. He escapes. Red, the guy who he met in prison, who was his best friend, gets released and joins him in Mexico. The end.
Boom.
Wow.
Not bad, dude. That's actually
that was pretty good.
phenomenal.
That was pretty good.
Again,
That is
does
phenomenal.
not do the movie even a little bit of justice. That's like the
100%.
Cliff's Notes.
Now, if you don't
but
want to
12
see the
seconds.
movie after hearing that, I don't know what's
I don't know.
wrong
I don't know
with
what
you.
to tell you. I mean, it is like, it's a prison escape movie, and that's always
Yep.
kind of hype.
Well, it's
It
funny.
is so good.
Because I had a conversation with somebody who knew that we were doing this for the show, and they said, Shawshank, that one never hit for me. And I just sat there.
Was that Alan?
Well, that was Alan. All right, I don't want to throw Alan under the bus. And
Let's throw him
I
under
also
the
don't want to throw
bus.
Spencer because I don't know Spencer's thoughts. I mean, maybe he didn't like it either. But his
I'll
whole
hold
point
on to those for now.
is he felt like it was more he's like it's a prison break movie.
Sure.
And I retorted by saying, okay, I think if you have a movie that just generally does end well, it feels good. You have wrongdoing, and it's just there's justice had at the end. That already feels good. But you throw in a beautiful score, and you throw in Morgan Freeman narrating it. Before that was a trope. Like this is when
Keep in mind, it's 1994.
This is when this is the first time that everybody sat there and they were like, we should have this dude do everything.
Yeah,
Like,
this was the first time. This was literally the first time he had ever narrated a movie ever.
And it was after this that everybody was like, it's just a thing that he's the greatest narrator of all time.
Yes.
Like it is just renowned. If you
Particularly in the Lego movie
or whatever, he's the greatest narrator ever. So this is literally his first one. I'm like, so you get Morgan Freeman narrating a movie in which he of course acts brilliantly in.
Who played Andy Dufresne?
So
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
What else is he in?
Wait, isn't Tim Robbins the same name as the comedian from?
Yes, but it's with two B's.
What if that guy played Andy Dufresne?
Yeah, Tim
Are
Robbins.
you sure about that?
Oh my god!
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
The guys come in to
Would've been
doink him. You sure about that? You sure about that?
Boggs, has anybody got to you yet? What does it look like?
Okay, so now let's make a note to do a side project where we take all those like really gritty scenes and just replace put in Tim Robinson reacting.
That's so funny.
I will devote
yes.
an hour to that. That would be a lot of fun.
So to get us a little bit on track of what we're going to be talking about the movie, I want to start with the acting because for obvious reasons, Andy Dufresne phenomenal with Tim Robbins,
really good.
But in my opinion, the one that stole the show was Morgan Freeman. Thoughts?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Tim Robbins, he like thinking about other people trying to play that role would be, I don't know, like even if it was somebody good, you know, some of the other people that they had casted for it or they wanted to play the part were like, oh my gosh, why can't I remember? Harrison
Tim
Ford,
Allen,
Harrison Ford.
I'm blanking on other Tims. Timothy Oliphant.
Other very good actors. Robert Redford, ironically.
Rest in peace.
And I thought that those guys might be better actors, but it's funny. He played him so dry and lifeless.
Well,
Andy Dufresne, but that was the point. That was the point.
That was the
that's
entire
why
point.
It's like I don't know if anybody could have done it like that. I think he would have been a very different character.
Yeah.
I think he would have been an extremely different character if anybody else played him.
And well, to your point, the Morgan Freeman stands out more because Morgan Freeman's character is very emotive, and Morgan Freeman nails it.
Yeah.
Whereas Andy Dufresne's character is, by his own admission, he's not super emotional.
detached, yeah.
He's detached. He's a little robotic. Although
pretty
he wouldn't
flat.
Have,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have said it. I mean, it becomes a point where he's like, I didn't know how to respond well to my wife,
Right.
Because I didn't. It's just I do numbers. I like rocks. Like he's literally like picture of the nerd.
Yeah, I love the beginning scene, like you mentioned, the courtroom scene. He's just sitting there completely blank, and I mean they're interrogating. They're effectively being like, "Hey, did you kill your wife? Because if so, we're gonna put you in jail for your entire life." And he didn't do it, and he's just sitting there like, "No, I didn't go. I
Never found the gun.
never. Yeah, I started to drink.
It's
but
actually that.
then I
They're like,
sobered
isn't it
up."
convenient for you? It's like, actually, it's quite
Yeah,
inconvenient for me.
he's like,
It's
well, considering
decidedly
I'm
inconvenient.
considering I'm innocent of this crime, I would find it decidedly inconvenient.
It's such a good line too.
He's
It really is.
He's just so. But yes, I mean across the board, I don't know if you could name somebody who was overacting or just didn't fit. I mean, from everything to the warden, the Boggs, the main security guard guy, I forget his name.
Yeah.
But
mean
I mean, all
Killed like 3 people.
and I think a very small role is oh shoot, what was the old guy's name who gets out?
Brooks.
Brooks. I mean, Brooks just. I don't even know if he's an actor. I'm like, he's probably just a real old guy in
No,
jail.
he is an actor, but with that said, yes, he's an actor. However, he is, in my opinion, number 2 on the best actors in that movie. He did
a phenomenal
job. The scene where he puts the knife to what's his name's throat, so good.
Yeah.
His ability to just completely take over that entire scene, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, and I thought that he just. Like where it turns to like him narrating because he's reading his letter that he's writing the guys and he's talking about, hey fellas, like whatever, and those scenes where he's like sheepishly trying to cross the road and he comes back and he's waking up and it's like, man, that gets me still.
Yeah.
Like I think old people that don't have anybody is
Tragic.
Yeah, well, it's tragic, and I think it's probably one of the things that gets most of us, because I think that's the thing that most people fear is getting older and not having anybody.
Being alone.
Yeah, being alone and you get to see this person who did have community, did have life within the prison walls. He was well respected, albeit had a very simple job. He just delivered books, but that's all he really cared to do. And then he was pushed out into the world, and he knew nobody. I love the beginning where he's like, "I saw an automobile when I was young. Now they're everywhere," and it's like
Fast,
too. And it's like it's
Everybody just got up and got in a big damn hurry.
yeah, gotta hurry. Found themselves in a big way, and it's like you feel for that, and that's I don't know, like you don't think about it, but
Well,
then you put the pieces
But
together.
you think of it, I mean, it's almost a time travel thing for him that he, went into jail in like the 1910s.
yeah.
And then he comes out in the
Imagine
1950s or
1910.
60s.
What was happening in 1910?
Well, we're gearing up for World War I.
Yeah, we were gearing up for World War One, and then World War One
Orville
happened.
Redenbacher and the Marx Brothers were going to be the first in flight. Sorry.
Yes.
I know who was actually, so brief aside, we were playing Apples to Apples, and it was like famous brothers. And one guy I was playing with put in the Marx Brothers. I'm like, Marx Brothers? He's like, yeah, Marx Brothers. First in flight.
Oh boy.
It's the Wright brothers.
Yeah, right.
But
So
Guy's a doctor. He's a sharp cookie, but a little bit of brain blip there.
Spencer, question:
Yes.
favorite actor in the movie,
or character,
or character
Just
in
like-
general? Like who do you think was the kind of like the star of the show?
So, I mean, besides the fact that he was, the not murder victim, but the murderer, right? Accused of, at least.
Yeah.
Right. I thought he did a great job. And you're talking about like who could have played a better role. I swear to you, I was watching that thing, and they're like 5 or 6 times I thought that was Tom Hanks. I don't know.
I can see Tom Hanks doing that.
Listen, my backstory knowledge of the movie is like 1. A unit of 1. And I don't know what that is, but
No, you probably have the most authentic feel of it because you just watched it for the first time.
I
That's
did.
Probably fresh eyes. I'm curious
like,
to know what
2
you
days
thought.
ago. And I did enjoy it, right? So first off, I did enjoy it.
Let it be known before you berate me.
Don't kill me. I liked the movie.
Don't shoot. I enjoyed it.
It was good, but I swear to you, like I thought it was Tom Hanks multiple times. But how they
Well,
like
he
aged him
does
in this
kind of have a
movie-
young Tom Hanks. Honestly, to me, he has more of like a young Leonardo DiCaprio vibe.
Okay, fair.
I can go
Maybe
along
if
with
they
that.
made a kid, I don't know.
He watched an entire movie with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, and he was like,
and-
"That was Matt Damon."
Well, it was Matt Damon, and it was Buddy who died that played the Joker.
oh, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, and he didn't know either of them. He's
Well,
like,
he didn't have
"That was
clown
Matt
makeup on.
Damon
How am I supposed to
and Heath
recognize
Ledger?"
him?
Anyways,
He didn't have clown makeup on, and he wasn't kissing cowboys. So those are the only other 2 Heath Ledger. That's not true. I've seen A Knight's Tale, which was also very good.
Knight's Tale is excellent.
Yes.
But I think other characters that don't get a whole lot of recognition are his friends in jail. So like the real Southern guy,
Yeah.
who's just kind of like, I mean, he's kind of a dope like the whole time. But I think he is a great like because when you get so the relationship between Red and Andy is like so good and charming that you almost just envy it. You're like, that's just such a great friendship. Like
Yeah.
that you almost lose track of the fact that you're in jail, and you can just start viewing the movie with the rose-colored goggles or whatever. Whereas I feel like the Southern friend and the other friends give it a little more gritty feel. They're they're ragging on each other a lot, but also that first night, their only interest was to bet on these new people that their lives were just thrown away. They're coming in here. I mean, I'm just sitting there trying to put myself in their shoes of saying, man, if I was a real person and I just saw these line of people heading into jail for their life, I'd have compassion, and I'd be so sad for whatever they did, but also for them. And instead, they're sitting there laughing, and that brought it down to more of a realistic. I don't think that he didn't present as a nasty person, a nasty inmate, but that's just the culture. He was like living by it. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna bet on this guy, and I'll bet on Smokes and whatever. And oh, the guy you bet on died because you were kind of like amping him up, and he's just like, you can tell it affects him a little, but he's just kind of like, well, whatever,
It's just the way it is.
yeah, it's just the way it is. And
Even though there was a guard that killed him.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like
crazy.
they all just kind of sat there, and I don't know. I think that he grounded the fact that they're actually friends that are in prison a lot, and I felt that he did a good job. But yeah, I don't know if there was a character I would change or an acting job I didn't like.
So here's a quick
weird way to say it.
little snippet, little fun fact for you. Morgan Freeman's son was in the movie twice. The
Gordon
first
Freeman?
one, the first time, the guy that was doing the fishing pole when they first walked in here, come here, fish, reeling him in.
Oh yeah,
That guy was Morgan Freeman's son. The other cameo thing was actually Morgan Freeman's Red's image for the. That's the mugshot. That was Morgan Freeman's son as essentially Morgan Freeman when he was younger.
Well,
That was him.
I think they showed that twice.
They did show it twice.
And I was like, this guy looks nothing like Morgan Freeman. This is BS. Honestly, I thought it was just another inmate, so I didn't know why they were doing it. Or it was like a
That's
mess up
so
or something.
funny.
no, it was
So that's a nice backstory.
it's just funny because it shows you how old Morgan Freeman is. Wild.
That
how
was
old
if I
that
have
guy
to ding the
is.
movie one thing.
I know where he's going with this.
He's in there for 40 years and he looks exactly the same. Same with
Yes.
Andy Dufresne. Like they're there
Yeah,
for 20 years
yeah.
and nobody ages a day.
They definitely try with Andy. Like they
gave him a
he
few
looks
gray
more
hairs.
haggard.
They definitely
but
try.
he doesn't look older. You know what I mean?
Well, but I mean,
like how old was he
There's
when
only
he
so
went
much
in?
you
Like
can do.
20,
He's the same
25,
actor.
30?
Well, I thought he was in 22 years. I thought he was in there.
well,
So he's coming out.
He was in there
either-
for about 22
Yeah,
years.
he was in there for 22 years.
But how old was he?
He was
when
30 years old in 1947.
Okay.
So he would have been 50 something when he came out.
yeah.
Not a lick of gray hair. He still looks 20 something.
No, he definitely did. No, maybe he didn't have gray hair. Well, the problem is the last image I have of him, he looks great because he's tan and he's like on the
He's
beach
on the
and whatever,
beach,
and he's
ripped up
scrubbing, which is
shirt.
just such
Yeah.
a great scene. But the scene where he's like coming out of the solitary for the 2 months that he
Yeah.
gets,
Oh, that
he
was-
definitely
that
is
was
like
real.
he's just
Right, but he looks
drooping,
brutalized.
his-
But that's you think about less about that, like, oh, he's been here for 20 years, and more like, oh, he just spent 2 months in solitary being abused.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in there for 19 years, giving him an age of 49 when he escaped.
Well, I was gonna
So I
say.
don't know about you, but I don't look the same as I did when I was 20.
No, that was one of the
You've already-
things.
I think you're gonna look like this for a long time. You've already got the bald look and the big beard going. So like,
I mean,
that's not
so
gonna
the
change
next
a whole
thing is
lot.
that my beard starts turning gray. That's the next thing.
Okay, that's true. I was just gonna say you don't have the indicators because you don't have the gray hair up
No,
top. But you'll get them.
my
You'll
beard will
get
start turning gray.
Yeah,
That'll be
you'll get
the
'em in your beard.
indication that I'm turning 70.
And you'll get
What
much
Greg's
smarter.
saying is you can maintain this physique for years.
Oh,
to come.
guys, this physique is very attainable. Trust me. Let me tell you, this was not a hard body to maintain.
Whoa, who said round wasn't a shape?
yeah.
I'm in
So,
shape.
so obviously acting phenomenal,
Yeah.
right? There's no question about that. But what about the score? Because I'm super curious to know how
it's-
good you guys thought the score was.
It's Newman, right?
Music?
Look up the score. Is it Thomas Newman does the score?
Thomas Newman, yes.
Okay, so I mean it's phenomenal, and you hear a lot of his other stuff. So he also did did he do Finding Nemo and some other things like that?
So this is another movie where I do remember this one. I actually do remember enjoying the music.
Yeah.
But my brain is
Finding
like
Finding Nemo.
my brain is cooked today, so I'm not. I can't recall
Yeah.
any strains or anything.
He does
But
a
it was good.
ton of thematic movies
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Yep.
I think he does Finding
so
Your,
here's a couple
How to
of
Train
them.
Your Dragon.
Yeah, a couple of them are Finding Nemo, The Green Mile, Skyfall, and 1917.
Sorry, Finding Nemo. I've been watching The Good Place, and they're in Australia for part of a season, and every single restaurant they go to is something Nemo. So they go to Frying Nemo and Drinking Nemo.
good.
No, I liked the music. I thought that I think a movie does a good job if you are not distracted by the score and it just enhances the movie.
Yes.
Like and that's honestly like that's what people rate good scores on is like when I was watching this was the music just pushing the story along, and I thought they did a really good job of that. There's a specific scene that happens right at the beginning, right after you get the courtroom scene and it cuts to the jail, and it's a really impressive. At this point, it would have been a helicopter shot, but they're going around the jail, and you see all the inmates like kind of all congregating towards the fence,
Yeah.
and it's this, and all the other sound in the movie cuts off, all the voices, everything drops down to nothing, and you just get the main theme comes in, and it gets a super long shot that effectively goes around the entire prison and ends right when the bus makes it to the fence, and then they all get out. It's a really cool shot, like just me seeing that. was super cool from somebody who likes to design shots and come up with things like that, to get all these inmates to be moving towards the fence at the same time that your shot ended, right when you got to the point where the bus was also pulling up and stopped right at the fence, is just a super...
You wonder how many times they had to practice that
just
shot.
it's
so
just
good.
so impressive considering how far back they were. Like, you think that if you're that far back, you can't really tell detail. Like, we do drone shots for our videos, and it really doesn't care. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on because it's just a wide shot. You got a wide shot, and then we're going to, if we're on a golf course, and the next shot's going to be the guy teeing off. And it doesn't really matter. There's no continuity there. Whereas this shot, there were so many people all moving. There was like a bunch of ants all congregating to one spot. And I'm like, they're all...
You can even differentiate the inmates and the guards.
Yes, like it was like
Yeah.
Anything down to the costume, like the difficulty of to start off a movie with a shot like that is just, it's just so cool for somebody like me that my mind works that way, that I'm just like, I'm like instantly drawn in, and I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah.
You definitely cared a lot about this, and I'm gonna be locked in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
I love the cinematography.
Yeah. So the building, fun fact, was actually in Ohio, and it was actually meant to get destroyed. And then the producer
was
and
condemned.
everybody, it was supposed to get demolished in like a week or whatever. And they were like, no, we will pay you to not do that for like a couple of weeks while we film. And they're like, bet, cool, sounds good. And so that's where it was filmed in Ohio. Fun fact.
So my first impressions of the prison itself, I thought it looked like the Biltmore House. Have you ever seen it?
You did say that. You did
that
say that.
facade definitely looks
Yeah.
like a mansion.
I've never.
I was like, I thought they were shooting at the.
Well, you live in North Carolina
Super
now, Greg.
weird.
You gotta. It's like legally they will take you away and
So it's
shoot
just
you.
a bunch of. It's a really rich person.
This is a
house.
really nice
Greg,
house.
just accept it.
Okay.
Really,
So it's my
it
house.
was the Vanderbilts.
There was grass in the middle. There was driveways. And there was a big building.
yeah,
Biltmore.
it is a nice house.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap to.
So here's another random little side bit. If you noticed during the scenes when they were showing the outside of the jail, all of the grass was always green, always, and everything on the inside was always brown and dingy. And the idea behind that was the grass is always greener on the other side. That was one of the themes that they kept throughout the entire movie.
Not one I picked up on.
Yeah, little
No,
things.
I mean, yeah, the they definitely got the dingy part for the
Oh,
jail.
yeah. Oh, for sure they
no
did.
argument about that.
It definitely like it, and I think it doesn't pull punches. I mean, I mentioned the whole Andy and Red relationship making it feel kind of fun, like almost like, oh, this is kind of, it's a couple
Sneak
of
stuff
bros.
in.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like there is that whole element, but it definitely didn't pull a lot of punches with being like, this is still jail, and it still is like, not only is the warden and the guards like don't really care about you at all, but the inmates themselves are out to eat you, and it's like it was just, it's a very serious watch, while at the same time somehow wrapped up in that is a story that you're interested in, and like that, I think it's just so difficult to do. I just couldn't tell you how to make a movie like that, and I did appreciate some. I just imagine if this movie was made today, what would it look like? How I think
My
how
God.
over the top would all the visual, like I guarantee you get a gay visual scene where it's just like, now we're gonna watch it just unfold.
Yeah, they're not going to pan
Yeah,
away.
Joker
They're not
too.
going to walk away.
yeah, exactly. We're-
It would be Joker too.
it's just and like you can convey all the same things without having to just like throw egregious like nonsense in your face the whole time. Like, we got the picture. It was very clear that Boggs was a nasty dude, and it didn't need to. If it had just showed some elongated rape scene, I think I would have just been like, all right, there's an asterisk on this movie, because like half the people I would recommend to see this, I wouldn't want them to see it now.
That was one of the things that, because I watched it with Spencer for the second time during the week, let it be known, because I love this movie so much. That was one of the scenes when Boggs first originally, and Spencer was like, oh, thank God they didn't show it.
No, but it's true, and I think.
But in anything modern, they would have shown it. They would have shown all of the details with him, grimacing with Boggs behind him, and you could just see that in a modern movie. You just can, and it's awful.
Even the one where they're already in the showers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They're already in the
Oh,
showers.
well,
they're
but
already showing everything there. It's like,
If they did remake
ahead.
it,
Yeah.
Andy would have been black, and the warden and the main guard would have been in the KKK,
He would have been black and gay.
and a woman somehow.
And then a woman would have raped him, and it would have been disaster. Modern day Shawshank would be a man
It's Joker
in a
2.
woman's
Joker
prison.
2 is modern day Shawshank.
Oh my
Done.
God.
It's a 0.
That is so
You failed.
funny.
No, but like this is it's movies like this that you can point to. I often do movies like this. I mean, movies like The Lord of the Rings, where you're like, oh, well, you can't tell a serious movie that's got really hard themes that isn't very egregious in your face. That's got to have a bunch of sex, a bunch of like horrid violence, a bunch of like language. And I'm like, no, you can do that. Like there was definitely language in this movie. They're inmates, but like the violence was even. Like it wasn't like there were scenes that turned your stomach that you're like I can't watch it. Although there were very serious scenes, right? He beats the heavy guy that gets there in jail and he gets his face beaten in by the guard. It's almost like a silhouette, like the light's coming from behind him. So you just kind of see him on the floor and he's just hitting the body, and then it changes.
Well, and like I don't have the obviously the visual effects background of filming that you do, but like that shot stays wide for the most part. First little bit they're in there, but then stays wide, so you see everything going on there, right? You see the whole prison. You're in there with them. You're like kind of taken back, like he's actually doing this.
And I think that's like there is a reason behind why people do certain shots, and what you just said is to capture the feeling you just mentioned of the feeling like I'm also in here. I can see the other inmates. I can see him in the middle getting beaten. And I think that was a way more effective way to do it than to go, let's have a bunch of cuts up close where we're seeing his head split open on the ground and the blood squirt everywhere and his vocal cords start to change because he's gargling his own. And it's like, all right, well, if you showed all that, like, I just don't like. I hate it when movies do this when they're like, I want the shock value of just having
unnecessary gore.
Yeah, some ridiculous scene so that all like the really snooty people will be like, oh, it's beautiful, just capture it. And I'm like, shut up. That doesn't need to be the story should be the focus of the movie, and that is a piece of the story, and it did its job. It was gruesome. Like you felt for it. He was dead. They all experienced that. But like it didn't need to be anything more than that.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the movie Him that just came out.
Oh my god!
You heard about this?
Yeah.
Or the premise of the movie is that like the best player of all time, right, gets blood injected from the previous best player of all time and nonsense like that. And it's like
it's another Jordan Peele movie.
Well, Jordan Peele, Jordan Peele didn't do it. He produced it. He did not direct this one.
Okay.
And it's pretty obvious that he did not direct this one because he's competent. Regardless of how you feel about how much absurd social commentary he puts in his movies, Jordan Peele at least can create a movie. This apparently falls short of that.
That's fair. But yes, I appreciated cinematography wise that it wasn't over the top gruesome, that you didn't have to watch any of these scenes. Like it is just a phenomenal watch every time because it is tough to get through the middle portions, but the ending is so satisfying, and there's really not a scene I would change, and or the score for that matter.
Yeah. So I've watched this movie, I don't know, probably 40 times. And that's not an exaggeration. I'd be curious, Greg and Nathaniel, how many times have you watched this movie?
So in totality, like sat down, start to finish,
Like 10, maybe?
the whole thing,
Less than 10?
somewhere around
8 to
5,
10.
probably 5 to 10 times.
Scrubs.
But I'll say I've watched like at least a third of the movie dozens of times.
Because it was also
It was
a very
always on
popular
TV.
one to be on TV.
And it's also a favorite dad movie. So when it comes on, my dad will leave it on.
Yeah.
And so I will also sit down and watch it. It's like one of those things where if it's on, we'll just sit down and watch it.
So one of the things that I found interesting was this movie actually kind of bombed in the box office.
Really?
And the
It's
reason
funny
for
how
that,
often the really, really good
well,
movies
there's a reason
will bomb
for
right
that.
when they come out.
It was competing against Forrest Gump.
Really?
Yes.
Imagine
So it
that
actually-
if 1, 2.
yeah.
Forrest Gump is a
yes.
great movie, but this is a better movie
It
than
was.
Forrest
No,
Gump.
I agree with
I
you,
think
but
they're
Forrest
tight
Gump
for me.
It
I
was.
think
It was.
Forrest Gump's great.
they're
I
neck
think
and
this is
neck.
a better
Man, it's a really good
there's
movie.
your
Either
top
one.
five.
I was thinking, can you pull up a picture of both of them side by side?
Have you ever seen
not
Andy
really as
Dufresne
close as
and
you
Forrest Gump in the same room at the same time?
That's so fun.
I'm gonna look at
I'll
it.
see
and
if
like,
I can find
okay,
it.
never mind.
But yeah, so one thing that I noticed, because again, usually when I watch this movie or bits of this movie, it's when it's on TV. I forgot how much profanity there is in the first like 20 minutes of the movie.
The what? Oh.
There's so much profanity when the guards are like cussing out the new people, and I'm
You
like,
maggot.
I'm like, I don't remember.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember any of this because I'm usually watching the TV version, so all of that is censored out.
Yeah, I mean,
So I've got a thing here. You guys can look to see.
That's us, Marco.
There it is. he kind of looks like
is
him.
that
Literally Tom Hanks.
It was the
on
first one
drugs.
It's the first one I had seen, but yeah, I
Wait,
kind of see it. To
Did
be
Batman
honest,
also come out? Was there a Batman movie also in 1994?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I can kind of see it.
You see it.
I kind of see it. Tim Robbins does sort of look like
I can see it.
Tom Hanks.
But okay, I gotta figure out what else is this guy in? Poop. IMDb. Where's my IMDb?
Which guy? Robbins?
Yeah, Tim Robbins.
He
Have I seen him in anything else?
nothing really notable. He plays in a lot of.
He was in Mystic River.
Yeah, it's true. He's the guy that gets killed. I didn't like that movie.
I haven't seen it, so
Not a great movie.
not a great plan. All right.
Not a great plan.
All right, let's see here. Director. He directed things.
Yeah, he was a director as well. Yes. So here's while he's looking that up, one of the things that I also found very interesting, something I didn't even catch on until after I looked up little fun facts about the movie, the rock hammer, where it was hidden, right in the Bible.
In the Bible.
Did anybody catch the book of the Bible that it was opened up to?
No.
Exodus,
Exodus.
which is essentially a story about getting away from
slavery.
He
Which
was
I
in
found
He was
super
in Top
interesting.
Gun, apparently.
Top Gun.
He's Merlin in Top Gun.
One of the
Interesting.
random dudes in Top Gun.
He's in Howard the Duck.
Oh, the duck.
All
He's
right,
in the
next-
original
next
Twister.
topic.
So then, fair enough. All right. So we talked about the acting. We've talked about the score. We've talked about basically everything else. But storyline.
Yeah.
What is the deeper meaning behind all of it? Did it hit? Obviously it did. Let's be completely honest with each other. It hit. The redemption arc, everything about it was so good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
discuss.
I mean, it's a story of redemption. Like that's always going to feel good.
It's
I
so
think
good.
we'll always connect with stuff like this because that's how people live, and this is why modern stories are so dry and empty. Is because they don't like there is just good people, and then there are the bad people, and the bad people eventually get what they deserve, and the good people are just always good. Whereas this one,
So it's always one ending.
Yeah,
The good person's always going to get what they want.
right, and this one is relatable because we all have to go through that. Like we all have to deal with our own mistakes and shortcomings, and we have to develop as people. And so for a movie like this to actually take a character who didn't deserve to be, thrown in jail, but he's so detached emotionally from everything that it kind of doesn't affect him. Like he gets in jail and he's just like this is why everybody kind of didn't like him at first, and that's why Red liked him, because he's like he just kind of strolled around like he didn't have a care in the
Strolled around the
world.
yard. Yeah.
Like he's just tossing up the rock and catching it, and he's looking around and he's like, hey, I actually really was into rocks in another life. I could get back into that now that I got more time on my hands. And it's like, wait, what? Like, so this is a guy that had everything, right? Like he had a beautiful wife. He was a hotshot, but he's clearly brilliant, right? Because he displays that the whole movie. But he was unhappy. He was drinking. His marriage was falling apart, and now he gets thrown in jail, and he starts making friends, and he starts getting into hobbies, and he starts slowly working his way up the chain in jail, and he starts fighting for a library for the jail, and affecting people's lives in a positive way. And it's like, and he has that really depressed. I mean, he's depressed when he says it, but that admission after his 2 months of solitary, where he sits out there and he's just like, my wife is beautiful, and he's like, and I don't think I ever really noticed that. I'm not the one that pulled the trigger, but he's like, but I pretty much killed her. Mm-hmm. And so you can see that was the moment that he finally was like, that was what he had to go through to realize that he's like, that was the only time in the movie where he looked like he was emotionally affected, like he was tearing up. And it's where the movie does an amazing red herring of making you think he's going to kill himself. Like, I don't know if that's what is that what you thought?
With the rope?
Yeah.
The 6-foot rope?
Yeah. I mean,
That's what they all thought too.
yeah, and that was like I can't even remember my first time watching it, but I must have been fooled by that as well, and thinking, oh my gosh, he killed himself, because and that's why I was
So
curious.
I didn't think at all that he had escaped until the warden threw the rock through the
Right.
picture.
And I think that's an amazing job
Yeah.
from the storyteller to go. Marco is perpetually opening and closing the door because it gets hot in here, but there are people outside, so we're like, maybe we're too loud.
Yeah.
Proceeds to not say hey to him.
Anyways,
Sorry, guys. There's like a meeting going on outside. I don't know.
for a story to do that
like we're in an office
is
building
just
or something.
impressive because I think there are so many crappy red herrings. Just being like red herrings is just a term for when a story leads the audience to believe that something else is about to happen with a bit of information, but in reality, it's going in a different direction. This was great because everything still made sense, whereas a lot of movies now attempt to do something like this, and they'll just have a bunch of characters do things that they typically don't do. They'll be like, well, now I'm depressed and I'm going to kill myself. And then the movie's just going to proceed on and they don't. And you're like, was that supposed to fool me? Because it was stupid. Whereas this one, it really does. I mean, even watching at this point, I've seen the movie a million times. I'm like, oh, man, he's right there. Like, he's literally telling Red these things about saying, hey, maybe you're right, you know, like, you know, get busy living or get busy dying. And you don't realize that he's talking about living, but you think he's talking about dying. And he's so defeated. The kid that he was pouring into was killed, which is another part of the story we haven't even talked about. And then he's stuck in solitary for 2 months, and he gets out, and now he knows that there's just no way because the truth was right there. That was his one chance, and they killed the kid. And so he's just like, and you have no idea that he's actually been chipping through the walls. And so, anyways, just an amazing end to that story. But it's his development through the jail and then getting out and then being this. You can just see it in that scene where he's cleaning his boat that he said he's like, I'm gonna get a boat, I'm gonna fix it up, and I'm gonna own a little place right on the water. And when Red walks up and how big he smiles and he hugs him, you're like, that's it. Like he didn't have that before. Like he had to go through all that to change as a person. And you just think of like scripture talking about how like God puts trials in our lives to shape our character. And I think that's why the story is so relatable. Like you can sit there and you can go, oh, like these are all people that are developing. Even Red, who's in there and he's like, listen, hope's a scary thing, man. Don't do that. And he had to tell Red that he's like, hope is a good thing. And no good thing, what is it? No good thing should die, or no good thing should end, or something.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Just a beautiful little note he leaves him. But all of that is just so good, and it's also just a very bromance movie. Like they're just awesome bros. Like, and so it's just like it doesn't end with him going into the arms of a woman. It ends him going into the arms of one of his best friends, and he's like, hey, now we get to sit here in a place that he's like. Watanejo or whatever.
Say Watanejo.
Watanejo. He's like has no memory, and it's just like like I don't know, it's just great. It'll never not make you happy watching that movie.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really appreciated throughout the movie was the ability for side stories to take place and still create more story for the main thing, which is Andy Dufresne. For example, the kid that comes in and he takes him under his wing and then makes him essentially pass his high school diploma equivalency or whatever they call it, GED, or I don't know what they called it at the same. Yeah, C-. But hey, C's are for degrees, bro.
C+.
That's right. Was it a plus?
C+.
C+.
Was it? Oh, whatever. Anyways, point is, I love that little side story there. Yes, he was also part of the idea that he could potentially be getting out. That gives the character hope. Like he didn't do it. Obviously, it's all known that he didn't do it. Well, after the fact.
The thing is, until that, if your first time watching through, until that point in the movie, you don't actually know that he didn't do it.
Yeah. This is true.
And I think that that's an interesting point that you lose after watching the movie several times. Whereas a new person watching it, those are maybe some of the biggest interesting points. But that's what makes a movie like this so amazing, that it doesn't just rely on those things.
Yeah, I'd be curious, Spencer. Did you think that he actually did it or no? Like in the first half of the movie, for example.
Did you think he was innocent the whole time?
Well, listen, I've been watching a lot of Suits. Okay,
all right, fair enough.
So I'm like, okay. So we haven't found the gun.
How guilty does this guy look?
We haven't found the gun. For some reason, they know he threw it in the river, but they still haven't found it.
Where's Harvey Specter? Just like,
I know.
Your Honor.
Yeah,
he's innocent. All right.
He's still innocent until proven guilty, and there's no gun. But just, I guess that kind of shows you something like about how they were trying to represent the prison system, or like how that warden, even though he's pushing the Bible on all the inmates, right? Trying to bring them to Christ. That's great. But then he's also doing this thing where he's like stealing or laundering money. I don't remember exactly how he was doing that, but
he was
jobs.
He was just awful.
And allowing these horrible things to happen, and then straight up murdering the young guy.
Yeah, having the young guy killed because it would affect. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly not represented as a very strong believer in any way. I think he just hoists the Bible around probably as a wielding of power.
Well, it's a shield for him. He can be like, "Look, I'm this upstanding person.
Yeah.
da 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 da. But in reality, he's as scummy as most of the people who are in his prison.
Yeah.
But even so, maybe, right? But was his backstory that he, was genuinely in the faith and trying to, disciple the inmates and bring them to Christ, or like once Dufresne got to prison, right? So he was able to, show everybody ways that they could, hide money or like evade their taxes, essentially. Right, so did he?
So it's based on a novella written by Stephen King. So I'm going to say he's a religious person, therefore he's a bastard. Was probably Stephen King's.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thought
He was probably trying to make him seem like an awful guy because that's mostly how Hollywood does things. If they're going to represent a Christian,
Stephen King as well, like in particular, not a huge fan of Jesus.
Oh, Stephen. But yeah, I think it's a redemption story. I think that if you have a story that's a good redemption story that has a satisfying ending, that is really well acted and a great score, that's narrated by Morgan Freeman, it's probably not going to be bad at all.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, after you.
So my last note, and then I'll let you guys do some closing statements here for this one. But the warden shooting himself with a .38. I'm not sure would have hurt worse, the actual bullet or the hand that he shot it with. Those bullets were giant. Let it be known that there was probably a few broken bones on that hand as he was.
I'm sure he's worried
cocking it
about
upwards. Oh, that hand was dislocated 14 times.
I also like he was clearly planning to shoot himself, and he still took the time to load all 6 bullets into the
Well,
yeah.
There was another moment where the narration led you astray a little bit because he goes, and the warden had no intention of going down that softly, and he points it to the door first, but then he kind of looks out the window and he realizes, what am I doing? What am I doing here?
He says, "It's all ogre, lads."
It's all ogre. Then he just
sorry. One thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up. I do have one more thing to say, but I got the impression during this watch, just from one of the things Red said, is that he had the tunnel dug, but while he was working with the kid, he was like ready to escape, but he waited to help the kid. Like he stayed behind longer to help the kid. Like he had already finished the tunnel, but he decided to help the kid out. And when the kid died, he was like, "All right, it's time to go."
So when do you think he finished it?
Not around that time, but the kid was only there for a short period of time. Because Red, he specifically said he mentioned something about him waiting around for the kid because he was pouring into the kid, and then when the kid died, he was like, I guess it's time for me to go. So I got the impression that he had already finished. I could be misreading it, but I got the impression that he had already finished the tunnel either before, like right before the kid got there, or like during his working with the kid.
That's an interesting way, because it's clear when he starts the tunnel. It's
right.
When he goes
to
write it, he writes his name, and then he realizes that it's made out of whatever rock that's going to be really easy to dig through. Like that's how he figures that out, and he goes and he looks around, and that's why the next day he goes, "Can you give me Rita Hayworth?" He's like, "Well, I don't have her shoved down my pants right now, unfortunately." And so like for continuity purposes, you don't get to see him initially see that the wall broke apart. You just see him writing his name, and the next scene he asks for Rita Hayworth. But then later, when you find out, you see the scene where it does actually break and fall off, and he looks around. Then you put it together. That's when he immediately went and asked for a poster.
Which is very early.
So he's clearly been digging it from right at the beginning. But you're right. Maybe it is an interesting thought to think that maybe he had gotten all the way through. I guess the only thought is that if he had dug all the way to the edge and had this giant hole in the wall, would he just want to leave it there for that long?
Well, it was clearly like interior working. So I don't think it was there like a long time. Again, but from my reading, I think it was finished, but he chose to wait while he was still tutoring the kid.
Well,
that was the impression that I got.
He
from
actually
what Red
said it. Wait, didn't he? Because he's like.
It would take a man 600 years.
It's like I was right. It would take a man about 600 years. Andy Dufresne did it in, and I think he says it.
Long,
I think he says it though. So like I think if he said it, like
he said 20.
Short of 20.
Short of 20,
Yeah,
I think is what he said.
20,
Yeah.
okay.
So here's a random side note fact: the
Side
scene
note fact.
with the hands going with the chisel or rock hammer into the. That's not Tim Robbins. That's actually the producer.
oh yeah,
Yeah, because the producer was like,
Gibson.
yeah, the producer was like, yeah, I don't know if anybody can actually do what I want the scene to actually portray, so I'm just gonna do it. My hands are close enough. it was that scene and the scene where in the very, very beginning when he's loading the gun, when Tim Robbins is loading the gun and it's kind of like just everywhere, he like unfolds it from the little blanket. That's all the producer as well.
Well, it's funny. So in a lot of movies, those are the shots that are forgotten, or that once you put the movie together, you realize you need. So Lord of the Rings, like Peter Jackson did that whole bunch it's just funny when you see it and how you're sitting there, you're like, really? Because Peter Jackson, he did the Lord of the Rings. They have what's called the appendices for each of the movies, which are, about 12 hours of behind the scenes for each movie, and I've watched all of it multiple times, and it's wild. It's wild to see how it actually looks that somebody's taking a video of like Peter Jackson and the other producer, who's just like this other young guy, and he's holding the camera up, and Peter Jackson's like holding the ring. He's like, all right, does that look good? And he's like, yeah, turn a little bit, and that's the shot you see in the movie, and it's like. That's what it looked like. Anybody could actually, you could actually make this, it just, from somebody who makes films, it's like, oh, you could just be creative enough and put this together. But at the same time, you realize that they put this thing together and go, oh shoot, we need a close up there of the ring. We never got that. oh shoot, like he probably realized, well, it would be great if we had this shot of Andy, but then we also need a really close up shot of him just scraping the wall. And then they think, well, I can just do that. And it's literally like how I would try to solve a problem if I was in that situation.
True.
I'm like, they're doing it too. It makes me feel better.
All right, we're getting to that time.
Right.
Wait,
Nathaniel has the last
I have
thought.
one last.
okay,
yeah,
all right, all
last
right.
thing I want to say before we wrap up, unless Spencer wants to jump in and say something.
I do have one more question, but you go ahead.
Go ahead. 'Cause
No.
my wrap up might take a little more time, so go
Okay.
ahead.
So pretty useless, but I wonder. Obviously, Andy went to the Obsidian Rock before because he wrote that last note.
Right.
So what was under there? Obviously, it was money. But
No,
how much
I
money?
think he
You
gave him
don't
a
think it was
specific
money?
place, and he
Once he got out,
once he
went
got
and
out,
put it
he
there.
went and set it up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so he basically was telling Red, and I thought that was a
He was
creative point.
making a dead drop.
Yeah, because he didn't tell him, hey, when you get out, find me here, at Zawataneo or whatever, and then I'm going to have a job for you and I have all this stuff. He gave him hope. He just gave him this little thing. He's like, just promise me you'll do this one thing. Just do this one thing before you, and you could get the feeling that Red was like, all right, I'm feeling kind of lost, institutionalized, like I don't have anybody, and I've got this one thing that Andy told me to do. He's like, everything was gone except for a promise I had made to a friend. And so then it's like, all right, and that's exactly what Andy wanted to do. It's
Gives
like
him that
I just wanted to give him a little bit of hope. I want him to have something that he can hold on to and say, there was that one thing Andy told me to go and look for.
And we see Red go through the exact same thing that Brooks goes through, and even carve his name at the end. But because he has hope, he doesn't ice himself, and then he ends up meeting up with Andy,
which is which is just an amazing message to send as a movie that hope is the best of things. Like that is what you have to have. Like it that if. That's why, as a believer, like the hope in Christ is the most important thing. Like that is what's going to cause you to grow. Is that's going to keep you there. And in thinking of people that don't have that is like, where does that go?
Yeah. So my last thought is, I think one of the major themes of the movie, and I think one of the reasons it resonates, because this is the dad movie. Like every dad loves this movie. For good reason. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's, part of it is because, one of the major themes of the movie is how do you behave when you're in the worst possible situation? You're in the worst possible situation you could imagine. How do you maintain your character? And we see, obviously, people who don't, right? So, the whole Boggs or whatever his name is.
Boggs, yeah.
Where he's like, the sisters are looking for you. And Andy's like, well, tell them I'm not homosexual. Like, neither are they. Right? So
gotta be human first.
Yeah, you got to be human first. So it's like, whatever got these men in prison, right? The way they're behaving is like, how are they dealing with being in this truly awful place?
Yeah.
And you see, all of them are kind of jaded to everything and different. We see that in the first scene where they're making fun of the guys and trying to see who's going to cry first and end up getting a guy killed functionally, right? But you see varying degrees, and yet Andy manages to maintain his sanity throughout. And I love that moment where he finally gets to the library, everything's kind of going well for him, and then he's flipping through the records and he finds that opera. And he just realizes, I need to share this with everybody. And it is like it's going to be worth the punishment for me to just crank it up.
One of the best
It's
scenes.
such a good scene. But yeah, I think one of the reasons it resonates with dads in particular is like you lose a lot of control
Yeah.
with your family at different points, right? And men in general, we like to be in control, right? We like to have a handle on things. And so, part of Shawshank Redemption is, okay, when everything goes terribly, which I'm not, again, let me be clear, I'm not saying that the act of having a family is the terrible part, right? But, you have disasters. A kid gets sick. There's an accident,
Yeah.
right? You have a teenager. I'm kidding. That's a joke. It's a joke. But anyways, like you encounter difficulties in a way that you wouldn't
Yeah.
if you were just single. That has its own issues. But my point is, you have to figure out, how am I going to still be an upstanding dad when I run into all these things and feel like I don't have much control over things, right? So I feel like one of the reasons it resonates is, Andy Dufresne is kind of an example of how do you stay human in situations that can feel very dehumanizing. And loss of control is one of those things that feels very dehumanizing. And so, your kids are growing up, they're becoming more independent. You're starting to feel that, maybe they're going down a place you don't want them to, and they won't listen to you, right? But you say, okay, what would Andy do? How would Andy handle this, right? And I'm not saying stoicism is great, but, there is, I think, nowadays we see a bit of a lack of stoicism. Like people are just so quick to just let their emotions tug them in any which way direction.
Right.
And, to have that control and to look at the big picture and to say, okay, I'm looking for how can I, right? The whole beers thing, right? On the tarmac, he sees a situation and all he asks is says, hey, can you get my friends beers while we're working? And he doesn't even have one.
Yeah.
And he just does it because he just wanted them to feel human again.
Yeah.
So that kind of self-sacrificial, looking out for the people around him, even in the really tough circumstances, that's what every dad wants to be. Well, every person should want to be that. But I think especially dads, because we're supposed to be these protectors, these providers.
Right.
Speaking as a dad, no.
Whoa.
Guys, I got something to tell you guys. But we want to be protectors. We want to be providers. And so Andy kind of takes on something of a fatherly
Yeah. He's
role
definitely the leader of that group by the end.
to these guys who, society has said, you're not worth shit.
Yeah.
And you'll never will be. And to the point where Brooks is like, he gets out. He's like, I can't adapt to life anymore.
Yeah.
And so he gives them hope.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the reasons that it resonates so strongly with people who want to provide that to other people.
Yeah, and he's so counter to everybody else in the jail,
Right.
Which is what makes it seem so extreme. They're like, everybody else here is kind of giving up on that, Andy. That's how you have to live here. You have to give up on that, and you have to live so counter to. And again, some of that's because of their own choices to be that way, but some of it's because the jail itself is not providing anything, and that's why he has to kind of fight for the library and whatnot. But it's just like everything. It's just an example of what hope does to a situation.
Yeah.
That if you just took a drop and put it into this pool of filth and all of these people that are beating him up and hating him, that it will slowly affect people.
Yeah.
And
it
amazing.
does change, like Red at the end,
Yeah.
right, when he's doing his final release
Yeah.
parole hearing.
Parole
That's
hearing.
And he's like, look, if I could go back and talk to that young man before he committed that terrible crime, I would, but I can't. I have to live with the consequences of that.
Yeah.
And you tell me to be rehabilitated, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
So, do what you need to do,
But I don't give a
but
shit.
I don't give a shit.
It was
So good.
They're just like,
and that's what makes them
rehabilitate.
realize, like, yeah, he's legitimately remorseful,
Yeah.
and he's clearly not trying to buy his way out. We think he's ready for release into society.
Yeah. And it's because of his close relationship with Andy Dufresne that it keeps him alive. I mean, he would have just taken the same path that Brooks did, but then he gets out and he's like, no, I made a promise to a friend. I'm going to see what this, and then you could just picture, it just brings a smile to your face to think of what they're doing with that little hotel, whatever that he owns on the beach. Like, it's just awesome to think about that.
All right, let's get some numbers.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So we play a couple of games here. The first one is a guessing game.
I want to play a game.
It's a guessing game from Rotten Tomatoes. So together, you three will talk about and try and figure out the exact percentage. We'll start with the critics first. We'll try and find the exact number.
Do you want us to go together, or do you want us to...
Go ahead and do the together one, and then the next movie we'll do separate.
Okay.
So everybody together, communicate, try and figure out what the critics gave this as a percentage of critics that gave it a positive review.
Okay. My gut instinct, and this is what is harder with like older movies, because sometimes older movies come out and they're critically panned, but then later everyone's like, no, this was actually a really good movie. And so, but I don't feel like this would be. I don't feel like this would be critically panned. It definitely, like, maybe it didn't do so well monetarily just because people were going to see Forrest Gump instead.
Okay.
But I really feel like this should have a high.
It's got to have a high one.
So
Were these ratings taken?
So a little small
90s?
small caveat. The way it works is no, I guess. I guess no. So the caveat is the way it works is it's a percentage of people that rated it thumbs up.
Yeah.
Versus thumbs down.
It's the exact tomato meter is what they call it. Is the percentage of approved tomato meter critics who have given this a positive review. So essentially a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Is it a good movie? Yes or no? Period. End of story. It's the percentage of people that said yes.
Yeah. So I got to imagine this is a high percent, because even if you were like, well, it was fine, it's still like such a well-told story. I feel like it's hard to find faults with the movie. So I'm going to say, I'm feeling like it's got to be in the 90s, right? Surely.
It's definitely in the 90s.
So-
I'm not saying I looked at it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's got to. It's.
What do you think? Like, do we think it's low 90s,
We're
big
saying
90s, or
IMDb,
high 90s?
yes?
No, Rotten Tomatoes.
Sorry, Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm feeling like 94.
I
think that's
would
too high,
put
too
it
low?
like 96.
96?
This is
So my
this is the
first thought
critics.
was 87.
the critic.
Wow,
Okay.
that's quite low.
No, that okay.
Okay,
Well,
so let's average
Maybe
those.
You could be right. I have no
So
idea. I could be way
we
off.
got a 96, a 94, and an 87, which averages to like 91. I can
Okay,
actually, you know what? I can pull out my calculator and see what the average of that is.
Okay.
76 was right there. That was the weather.
I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
Just Damien is the answer.
64 plus 96 divided by 3. It's a 92.
So 92 is your final answer. Is everybody
it's our
agreement?
aggregate,
For critic.
Our aggregate guess.
You're a little high. It was 89.
Really?
89. So Spencer,
Good Spencer.
was the closest in theory for the critics score. The next one is the
Audience
score.
Audience
So
score's got to be like a 97.
Yeah.
The exact definition is the percentage of users who rated the say 3.5 stars or higher, 3.5 out of 5. So it's a slightly
Fun
better
fact.
than average.
Fun fact: it's actually 100%, because if you rate it lower than a 4, actually, they throw you into Shawshank prison.
I'm gonna say 96.
Yeah,
like the same
I'm
one.
feeling high 90s.
Yeah.
What do you think?
This is a 95. I'll go right below.
Yeah,
Greg.
let's go 90, 95, 96.
You're low actually, which is
Yes,
which is
wow.
really which is
I'm
actually
happy.
100.
perfectly fine with me. It was 98.
Yeah,
98
that's
is
good.
the score.
That's good.
And there's always those idiots that are out there.
Too many white people.
Yeah. Which hilariously, Red in the book was an Irish dude who was white and had red hair. And yeah.
And that's why they made the joke in the movie.
Yep,
He's like,
and-
why do they call you Red? He's like,
So
maybe it's
na-
because I'm Irish.
One of the people that was going to potentially play Red was Clint Eastwood. So in fact.
Wow.
I know.
That would have been weird.
But anyways, yeah, so that was one of the things.
Red.
Yeah. Our next game
cigarettes.
is actually
She's already in my pants. Yeah, that'd be weird.
our next game is actually pointed at Mr. Spencer.
Uh-oh.
So what we're going to do is one of the things that we do is we do a rank these 5 things without knowing what's coming next.
Good luck.
Okay. And I try to relate them back to the movie in some way, shape, or form. I did have a bit of a struggle with this one, but I
Top
did.
5 jails.
No, I did. Right, exactly. It was hard to come up with a theme that everybody would understand. But what
Prison
I found,
breaks?
what I did was there is a portion of this that I thought was very interesting that they played checkers and chess. Checkers for the layman's essentially, and then chess was more for like the smart people.
Sure.
And that's why Dufresne was really good at it, and Red was like, "What are you talking about? It's too much." So, anyways, my category is board games. Okay, so without
I'm
knowing,
ranking
I
you
will
are
definitely
ranking
be
board
judging you
games.
no matter what board games you put on here.
Got to rank these 5 board games without knowing what comes next. So you're just going to hear one, and you have to put it 1 through 5 without knowing what the other board games
So
are.
There
it
you go.
takes up
I
the
see.
slot.
Yeah, it takes it.
So when you
can't
hear
move it around.
Monopoly, that's number 5.
All right, number 1, Clue.
Clue, 5. I always hated it.
You think Clue is worse than Monopoly? If he says Monopoly, you have lost.
Just came out swinging, man.
I
It's
always
just
hated
like
it.
5.
If he now says Monopoly, you have lost.
You telling me I have to go to another room?
At least you can finish Clue in a single human lifetime.
All right,
just get
number
better at
5,
capitalism.
Clue.
I'll put Clue at
your
3.
Your second board game, Yahtzee.
Yahtzee?
That's not a board game.
Okay,
It's just
fine.
dice.
A game, a table game. Is that close enough?
No, you said board game.
It's
Illegitimate.
fine.
That's still a board
Solid
game.
3 at the
You're
moment.
so, you're so basic.
Solid 3.
Solid 3 at the
no
moment.
board. There's no board, Mark.
The board game
It's
is
a scorecard, which
Yeah,
is
you
not
gotta-
a board.
What would you consider it?
And it's
There's
dice. It's a
cardboard
dice
on the back
game.
of the paper.
It's a
It's
dice
literally
game.
a dice game. There is okay. If you're watching right now, you tell me, how
Chat.
did you define a board game? Because the word is in the damn name. Board game. A piece of paper that you keep score on is not a board. Dice are not a board. A cup is not a board.
So have
you are
con-
just
have
wrong
you
about
considered
this. Continue.
You might just
Plenty of
play
board
it when
games
you're
that don't
bored.
have boards. Continue.
BORD game. Well,
you
you're playing
put-
Yahtzee, so
So you put Yahtzee at number 3. Your next item,
Clue's better than Yahtzee. You're wrong.
Monopoly.
Monopoly?
You lose. You lose. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
I think you're going to...
Is there a 6? Can
I'm
I put
gonna-
that at 6?
So, because I'm holding off for a game that I want to be on there, I'm going to make it 2. I've always enjoyed Monopoly.
How?
I just enjoy it. I like money.
You're wrong.
2, 3, and 5 are taken. Your next one, Battleship.
Battleship,
I
very
will allow that as a
frustrating.
board game. It's a little
Very
bit of a stretch.
frustrating. It's a 4.
That's a 4 for
Yeah,
you?
Battleship's a little man.
Yeah, Battleship.
I put that lower.
All
for me.
right.
Very
It
frustrating.
gets
I agree.
boring after a
I'm
while.
with you
It's
on
just
that
it's just
one.
luck.
All right, your next table game, because I know you're going to yell at
Give me
me.
one mulligan.
Connect 4.
A lot. Okay.
You're
okay.
Four
really
at
stretching
number
the
one?
definition of board game here.
There is a lot of excitement with Connect
Arguably,
4.
you could say it's vertical checkers.
I would still say it's a board game, but also
I
it's a
would be-
funny
Somebody-
5 to
The,
pick.
the thing is, I would be willing to give you Connect 4, but I absolutely will never give you Yahtzee.
What is it?
Someone in the chat said a board must be present.
Thank you.
So Yahtzee and Connect 4 are out.
Yes.
Yahtzee and Connect 4 are out.
Well, there you go. That's your rate. Your
Top
5
3.
without knowing.
Number 1, Monopoly, then Clue, then no, Clue was last.
Clue is last.
Clue is
What was
last.
the other one?
Absolutely.
Battleship.
Connect 4 was
Monopoly,
Battleship.
Battleship, Clue. Those 3 in that order.
Connect 4 was Battleship.
Yeah.
Number 4 was Battleship.
Yeah.
Idiot. All right.
Of the 3 actual board games.
Yeah. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna go around and say your rating for the movie. I'll start. It's a 99, and the only reason why I didn't put it as 100 is because I'm holding out just in case one of my favorites, which arguably this is one of my favorites, but I'm just making sure there's probably not going to be another 99 in there. So realistically, it's kind of 100, but I'm leaving it just in case. That's my score. 99.
So as from like a critical eye, yeah, it's got to be in that same range. But I'm also when you get to this level, when you're like, okay, these are the top
You're
movies,
splitting hairs.
You're
level-
you're
the
splitting
level of
hairs,
Greg.
and I think also what goes into it is like my personal enjoyment. So I think from like if I were to break it up into two categories of saying could this movie be any better? I don't think so. So I would give that 100. To where personally, where would I rate this? I would probably put it like a 90, 92. As far as like there are types of movies that I enjoy more than this. I like more out there kind of like suspense, like fantasy type movies and like movies like Inception and Signs and The Sixth Sense that have a little more bizarre touch to them. So like on my personal level, I probably have it like a 92. So I would probably overall rate it. I mean, I'll give it a 96 overall, 97. We'll go 97. There's not a whole lot of movies in this category, so I'm gonna say 97.
Nathaniel?
The thing is, I really, really like this movie. It is gritty enough that I'm not like, I don't know if I could watch it, multiple times in the week. I mean, like when it's on, I'll watch it. So I think I'm going to stick with the audience and go with the 98. I think I agree with that score. It's a damn near perfect movie, and I would find it hard pressed to find any way you could improve it in a way that would make me like it more. I do love it. It is pretty intense at points, which is not my favorite thing. So,
Okay. Mr. Spencer?
I'm going a bit lower.
Oof.
Only
17.
because. So my first thought was 4.7 because I thought this was going to be out of 5. But out of 100, I'm going 93.
93.
So,
Still pretty good.
You know, my passion is cars, so I enjoy cars more.
So F1 was 100.
So have not watched it yet.
Oh,
Have not watched it.
I've heard it's good.
Huh?
That was just me slapping you. Like you got to get on and go watch the movie.
Do need to go watch it. So, what did I say? 93, 94?
Yeah, you said 93.
93.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I think that could have been changed is
More
when they
cars.
take the guy more cars. More
Didn't you
cars.
see the automobiles almost running over Brooks? There were so many cars in that
The
scene.
good ones weren't there yet, right? But it is when the warden and the main guard guy shoot the kid outside. Let him run a little bit. Don't just shoot him there in cold
Well, he
blood.
had no idea what was going on, though. I mean, he was a bit of an idiot.
As soon as he
was
opened that door,
definitely
this
an
kid's dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I knew he
and
was
we
dying.
knew that.
Yeah.
But he
First time
didn't
I
cotton on
watched
to
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. Spencer did call it in the
he's-
middle of the conversation. He's like, "Wow, he's dead."
He's
Idiot.
We're letting him out the door.
At least
He's
the movie shows you that he's not a smart guy throughout it. The fact that he's like not passing his high school, whatever. So
dead. That's fair.
yeah.
Can
That's
we
fair.
all take a moment to appreciate that Greg is wearing an El MAGA shirt?
Mago.
This
That's
is
clearly an A. El MAGA.
Side note, me and Marco were just filming in Detroit, and we went to this event at the Detroit Tigers game to film, and they were like, you get $50 to spend in the store. And I'm like, I don't like the Detroit Tigers. And so,
So
I
you're
look
like,
at
hey,
their-
that shirt says MAGA. I'm in.
and I'm like, well, I'll buy these golf balls. And they're like, well, you have like $30 left. And I was like, all
You'll-
of these shirts
you'll
are
need
like
it.
$75. And there was like one bin that was like, here's the $30 bin.
El MAGA.
So I just got this, and I thought, might as well represent the Detroit Tigers on the show.
They're so
because
great.
I'm in love with
Such a
them.
great team.
So how many
Such a
golf
great
balls did you
city,
get?
to be honest.
3.
3.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it's
one
expensive
hole's
golf
worth.
ball.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
I got a blanket, a throw blanket, and a baseball.
Yeah,
Tell me how many times I've thrown a baseball.
Marco
In the
hadn't
teens.
touched a baseball in quite a while. He was like, look at this thing. I'm
I've
like,
got
it's a
gloves.
baseball.
I like playing catch.
So,
Yes.
Let's do it.
so anyway,
nice.
so moving on. Let's move on to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah!
That's our next.
Oh,
movie.
while we're transitioning.
It's over there. Greg's got
Oh,
it.
this is the good stuff. I knew it tasted good.
All right, hold on. I've already got mine.
Marco's favorite.
We are
I'm driving, so
thematically.
just like 3/4 of the way full.
I've already got mine. So it's,
If you want more, sorry, I just kind of put a splash. You can put it on
No,
that
this
side.
is plenty.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the aroma.
it does smell good. Of all the things, it does smell good. So there you go. Drink up, boys.
L'chaim.
Marco taking it as a shot. Oh,
He's taking shots of Whistle Pig. How are we
Granted,
friends?
I told Greg to put like this much in. It was essentially a sip.
Little thimble doing shots like,
Yeah.
woo!
All right, hit me with that number. Give me
Here's
a
the next
generated one.
So I did not randomly generate, and I'm actually going to ask Spencer because I thought that was actually quite nice.
But Spencer knows what it is now.
Yeah, but now I'm going to
that's true.
reduce the number from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Pick a number 10
Wait,
through.
hold it. Time out. He's reducing from 10 to 30.
No.
That's what, that is what you just said. You said I'm
you knew
reducing
what I
time
meant.
That's
from
negative
10
20, by
seconds
the way.
To
Negative
30
20.
seconds. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
All
I
right.
actually didn't know what you mean.
All right,
Like I'm
Greg,
still confused as to what you are doing.
The time frame here is 10 through 30. 10 seconds
Okay.
through 30 seconds. Spencer, give me a random number between 10 and 30. Go.
21.
21 seconds.
Greg,
21
you have
seconds.
negative 20 seconds. Go.
Hold on. Oh, quiet. God,
just
you
said it
guys
all back.
suck.
Marco, clip that, play it back.
You
Put
guys
in
It's going to be the whole thing.
You guys hit me with you got. There you go. There we go. Well done. Well done.
He can
So,
be
so
taught.
we said 23 seconds. Is that
21.
21 seconds? Okay. 21 seconds. Are you ready, sir?
No, hold on. Give me like 1 second.
Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna repeat the rules here. You have to give a synopsis of the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 21 seconds.
Butch Cassidy
you
and the
are ready.
Sundance Cast.
The timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are two kind of bank robber dudes back in the West, and they go around and they rob people and they rob banks. It gets too hot, so they have to move from where they're at to what's the place? Bolivia, where they're like, we're gonna go straight, except for then they start robbing banks again. They eventually get caught. Big shootout at the end. They both die.
Hooray! I mean, what? Bummer.
Proud of you.
So that's the story.
That's pretty much the entire movie.
That's not a bad synopsis given the movie.
Depending on if you like Westerns, the synopsis might be just as enjoyable as the movie. No, the movie was fine.
It was too long.
It was too long, but it was fine.
It was an hour and a half too long.
So I fast forwarded.
I would say it was 30 minutes.
By the way, I was like, "Why? I'm not watching this."
The New York transition, where it was just like,
That was really weird.
it was so weirard.
That
to
was
the point
hard.
Where like, I was like, okay, it's gonna end, right? It's gonna end, right? Like it is still
on
going,
forever,
and it's clearly like it's like they didn't have the budget to make New York actually look. So they're just like, let's just superimpose them into a bunch of pictures of what New York is, and then we'll just be like, now we're in Bolivia.
That was very that transition was bizarre and probably didn't need to be there. I think we can assume they said, hey, we're going to Bolivia, and then you just show them speaking Spanish and like, okay, they're in Bolivia now. Got it. Cool.
I don't. Yeah, not sure what that whole's all about. But the movie itself, I don't know. So you like old movies and westerns a little bit more than
Because I am a man of culture.
Okay. This is my thought. So I haven't talked at lengths to either of these two about this movie. My assumption is that not that Nathaniel's going to be skyrocketing, but Nathaniel will be the highest.
Probably.
I will be somewhere in the middle. And then Spencer will be really low.
All I said, because we try to save most of our discussion for the actual cast. All I said was, we watched a bunch of kind of middling movies, and this was around that area.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it enough that if you asked me to watch it again, Marco's shaking his head, but Marco doesn't like good things, so we're ignoring him.
He hates good things.
He hates good. He thought Joker 2 was 101.
Wow.
We knew this. We know this to be true.
Unbelievable.
He can't prove that he didn't say that.
It's true. Bad. I've seen it.
Anyways, I would watch this movie again,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't say about a lot of the movies we watched in the last couple casts.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so
No.
it is. It's
Westerns are a genre that you either like or you don't like, and that's
See, the
fine.
thing is, the problem with that theory is that I do like some westerns, and this movie was just bad. It was just bad.
I disagree with you.
Yeah, the movie wasn't bad. There were
No.
there weren't elements.
Objectively, it was bad when you have a slideshow halfway through that lasted 4 minutes. That is
We already
objectively
talked.
bad.
We already talked
Which
about the
if you
slide.
skip over, it's not that bad.
I was gonna say,
There's a solution to
there's a
that.
silver
we
lining
should
there.
be. I think it is. It's fair to say that you didn't like the movie. I think it's a little unfair to say that it's movie's bad because there was one part that you thought was terrible.
No, there were other things. No,
because I agree with
because
you.
there were different things about it. Like, for example, when about 3/4 of the way through, when they were robbing another bank, and then the audio cut out, and they were talking. They were
didn't happen in
talking
my
on
version.
screen. No, they were lip moving on screen, and there was no audio coming from them except music in the background. There was as if they forgot to hit record on the audio recording.
That
So
might
Marco-
actually be what happened.
I don't remember that
Sure.
part, if I'm honest.
I
Bad.
very vividly remember this, right? And annoyingly enough, I just figured this was part of the movie of the age of the movie. 'Cause I'm like, okay, well, they can't, put overlaying soundtracks.
They can't ADR.
Which it just made sense to me. I'm like, this is okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
There's music.
I
There's
don't
no,
remember that. So
Which just original, real
Spencer
old
thought that people
Westerns.
talked that way back then. Where they just went.
it's like a silent movie. You just hear
Yeah,
that.
Music every once in a while. Maybe they'll
Goodness gracious.
speak.
Just bad.
No,
It was just bad.
There were enough charming points that you could pull from that didn't make it an objectively bad movie.
Yeah.
I think that it's very fair to call it a boring movie. It's very fair to call it maybe a movie that was too long. And I totally get people not liking this movie. But there wasn't like the characters weren't useless. Like at the very least, you had good chemistry between two main characters that were on screen for 85 to 90% of the whole movie was the two of them interacting. there were a couple of weird moments that I agree it definitely didn't aid the movie. I
Expand.
I love a good montage, right? I love a good montage with music but the whole raindrops are falling on my head romance scene.
That was weird.
This is
the
the weird
wrong guy?
yeah, this is the weird part. The most romantic part of the whole movie took place between
On the bicycle.
a man's wife and a man's friend.
Technically not wife, but still.
Whatever, his lover, like the guy that the girl, the guy that are together.
What was her
that
name? I
Later
don't
get
even
married.
remember what her name was.
ETTA.
Yeah, Edda.
So he come and he shows up, and I'm watching this with my friend Alan, who's been on the show, and I was so taken back as to how casual that happened, where they had just made love, her and her guy friend. So it's Sundance and Edda. And then Butch Cassidy comes riding his bike by the window, and he's like,
Good salesman.
give me your like tender flesh." And then I'm like, all right, so like this is a different couple that like, right? And she comes out, she's like, oh, puts her clothes on. She's like, let me get on the bike with you. And then it starts, the raindrops, and they're biking around together. They're laughing and falling into each other's arms. They're holding each other. And I'm like, wait, what? Who is this?
My thought was like, this is a scandal. Or like he's snuck into this lady's house.
And then
And then they get back, and
Sundance gets
Sundance
out.
like, what are you doing?
like,
Stealing
running
your
away.
woman? Keep her.
Yeah, he's a keeper, and I'm like, why is this
Romantic.
so weird? Why do we do this? Because it happened. The same thing happened in Brothers Grimm, where I'm like, why? Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Why do you have the
So-
girl that's just like, well, they're both kind of great? I'm like,
So I
this is
thought
weird.
I enjoyed the movie. Marco was wrong. I completely agree with you.
objectively bad.
It is bloated.
Yeah,
The chemistry.
just
You say objectively bad. I think you're wrong about that.
I don't think
I
that
think
word
there are. I think
means
there
what you
are
think it
absolutely
means.
some bad parts of the movie. Like again, the New York montage.
Yeah, could have
What
just
was
gone
going
without
on
it.
there? Like,
Yeah.
really, just show us they're in Bolivia.
Sure.
It's fine. You don't need to. Anyways, I think like the middle third of the movie could have been cut down significantly, and you would not have lost a lot. Honestly, even though I kind of love the music that was playing, which if you don't like that, didn't like the music, I totally get it. But I enjoyed the music that was playing when they were doing like they're running away from the gang before they go to Bolivia. That them running away goes on forever and ever and ever. And see, the thing is, there is a point to it. The whole point is they cannot get away. These guys are relentless. No matter what they do, they will get tracked down. I think they could have accomplished that in a.
I think they could have gotten away with that.
Legitimately, it went on for so long.
Here's part of my issue with the scenes that were. I don't disagree that the idea being that it needed to go on for a long time. I get that to portray the fact that it needed to go on for a long time because they couldn't get away from him. But each time they rode past a tree, they didn't have to show it 7 times.
Yeah, no, I agree.
In 7 different angles. And I get it. Like back in the day, that was kind of the thing with movies. You wanted to show off your ability to create an aesthetically pleasing motion picture. Like I get you want to show the different angles, but 7 in one tree, bit rough.
No, I agree. It was definitely the word I would use for that is self-indulgent. The director was like, "Look at all these cool shots I can do." It's like that's great. Once we've established that they cannot get away from these guys, all they needed was the scene of them going up the mountain and them being like, "Oh my gosh, that's Lord Baltimore."
Yeah.
That's all we needed. Like, we only need a handful of those scenes, and then the constant trekking and trekking and trekking and trekking and trekking and trekking, and then same thing in Bolivia, the constant trekking and trekking and trekking and trekking and trekking. It was kind of exhausting.
Yes.
When what was really good was when you had dialogue between
that was the
Butch Cassidy
best part of the
and
movies were
Butch
when they were
Cassidy
actually
and
chatting with each
Sundance.
other.
That was what I really liked about the movie. And now keep in mind, I watched this in an accelerated form. So the longness of the movie didn't bother me as much. But I was looking at like, if I watched this movie at 1 time speed, I would not enjoy these really long parts that need to be cut down.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. If you watch it on 2 times speed, it is a much better movie.
2 times speed. My goodness.
That is incredible. And,
What were
and
you
a
gonna
really
say,
fast
Spencer?
bike. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, but okay, I can't give this movie anything less than 100 because he said a bike was a piece of shit, and I despise bikes. So, movie of the year for all years forever.
more-
Sorry,
more of a
What did you
I'm a
guys
shill.
say,
kinda
Spencer?
I hate bikes. I'm sorry.
What do you think, Spencer?
Bikes are the devil's car. That's all I gotta say about that.
we'll move on from that. But for what the movie is, right? Like, I think about a Western that is the major portion of a Western. You commit a crime, you have to run away by horse.
Yeah.
You have to get away. And you have these trackers people who are trained and like grew up in that. It's like tracking a deer for hunting, right? It's like that's your life, and then you get to a point where you're maybe that this person's getting paid to hunt down a criminal. It's like, okay,
I did think it was.
I mean,
I did think it was kind of wild the second time. So I thought the first third of the movie was great. I thought the last third of the movie was great. I thought the middle third was a bit of a slog. So if you like cut that middle third out and just made it like a hour and 15, I think it would have been a much better movie. But what I really like is just right, and they go back and forth. Like Butch is the ideas guy, Sundance is the dangerous person.
Yeah.
That opening scene I think establishes that so well, where they're playing cards with the guy, and Butch is clearly, we don't know if he's cheating, but he's clearly beating this guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were the Sundance Kid." He's like, "Ask us to stay. Ask us to stay. You guys can stay. No, we have to go." I thought it was really, really good how Butch is like navigating this, trying to make sure that Sundance doesn't have to kill anyone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, kid, how good is you?" I thought it was such a good, and that was remarkably for the movie that took a long time to do everything, was a pretty short scene.
Yeah.
Where they established like everything you need to
Yeah,
know
probably
about
had a
Butch.
strong start. Yeah.
A really strong start. And then I just when they're when they get back to their gang and there's a uprising.
That was funny.
And
I like that
yeah,
scene.
that fight was hilarious. And then he's like, "What'd you say, rob the train? That's a great idea. Let's do that." Right? So there's like
There's a lot of charm in it.
they're both super charming. And what I really love is when they get to the sheriff, like they're starting to get on the run. They go to the sheriff and like we want to join the army, right? And this is during like I guess the Spanish-American War. So like we want to join the army, and the sheriff is like, "I really like you guys. I do. You're both really charming, but you're two-bit thieves."
Yeah. He's like, you're gonna die.
Like, and he gets really mad at them. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm getting mad at you guys. Like, I'm a little hot under the collar, but you've done this to yourself. You have done that yourself." Is what he tells them.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And he's like telling like, "Tie me up and make it look like like."
There's
There's a lot of
cleverness.
charm in the movie,
Yeah.
which makes me I can't hate it. But again, I if you don't like westerns and the middle part again, when they're not talking back and forth, it's not as good.
Well, early movies like that, and so I would say that another movie that suffers a little bit from this is the very first Planet of the Apes. Whereas earlier movie, it's similar. It's similar to like imagine a movie that was in the early stages of CGI and was like, oh my gosh, we can do monsters and big pterodactyls and all. So then you do a whole bunch of stuff, and then in like 10 years, you're like, this looks horrible.
So the Star Wars prequels.
What am I looking at? Like it's so bad. Whereas, but you're always able to take that and go, well, at the time this was revolutionary, and. So the first Planet of the Apes in this movie as well, those shots that you take, the wide landscape shots, the shots where they're walking, having dialogue and there's stuff going on, and the fact that they turn and miles away, there are actual people on horseback riding over a hill towards them, that all had to time up is a really impressive thing. And like for the filmmaker, he's like, look at how impressive this is. Like this is unprecedented. Like it's to see these long, big, wide shots is just in itself impressive. Whereas now we're like, okay, get on to the next scene. What it just drags.
Thing is, I don't
prop them in.
I'm not exactly like a hyper focused kind of person, but I don't mind the slower scenes. Again, I watch
Except for the middle third.
But like Planet of the Apes,
The slower
Planet of the Apes,
scenes,
Planet of
Mr.
the Apes
Two Times
has
Speed.
Planet of the Apes has a lot of slow scenes. See, the thing is, when it's like establishing a shot, when it's like allowing tension to release before it builds back up again.
Right.
I think you can use wide shots and like slow moments in the film very well. This one had like too much of the slow next to not really a whole lot happening. So it kind of overplayed its hand in terms of it was really impressive when they think they're like, oh, do you think we got away? And then nope, they're there. Oh, do you think we got away? And then they're there. Oh, do you think you got away? And then and it happened like 5 times. It was a lot. And it's like, well, you already accomplished what you needed to do, so you need to move on to the next thing. Unless there's like a joke about how they keep up. It's kind of like so Monty Python when Lancelot's like charging the castle, and it shows him like running towards the castle, like dun, 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 and then it cuts back to the guards, and they're just like eating an apple, and it just keeps cutting back to that same shot of him running up like 3 or 4 times, and then he's just there, right? So it's like it's building up to a joke.
Yeah.
But this wasn't doing that. It wasn't really building up to anything. It was just repeating the same
Vastly
thing.
different movies.
Yeah. Well, sure. but my point is, it was using that like slow, weird, like, hey, yeah, you just showed us that. Wait, you just showed us that. Wait, you just showed us that. For a purpose. Whereas here, it really felt like you've already established this, and you just thought of a bunch of cool ways to show the same thing.
Yeah.
I felt the same way in Mission Impossible, where it was like, he has the dongle. Oh, by the way, did you know he has the dongle? Oh, by the way, did you know he has the dongle?
We're gonna remind you.
It kept cutting back to it. I'm like, I know he has the dongle. Please do another stunt. God.
Well, like I think that there was a like if this movie had a way to be good, like if there was a path for this movie to actually be really good, I think it needed to take Sundance and Butch Cassidy actually having a real relationship that wasn't just humor, because the humor wasn't. Again, it was our favorite part of the movie, but there wasn't enough of it, and the movie in itself wasn't goofy enough. Like there needed to be some real development between the two of them for me to care more. Because I was just sitting there and I was like, all right, they've kind of been goofy towards each other. We've established very quickly that he's the one that has the plan and he's the gunslinger. What else? Show me something else. Show me something else.
And that was
Show me something else.
was part of the chase, the long chase scene, is that he's like, oh, Butch, your plans aren't working. Your plans aren't working. Like, you keep coming up with a plan and it's not working. So that is, again, I think they did it too many times, like twice as much as they needed to get the point of that, hey, he's the brains guy and his plans are failing.
Sure.
He can't win. And so that's when they're like, let's go to Bolivia. And then in Bolivia, they try to go straight. And I really feel like they should have shown the tension between Butch and Sundance more when they're trying to go straight. And like, because it really feels like they lapse back into robbing banks. Wait, no, they start off robbing banks. And when they're trying to do the Spanish the first time, is pretty funny. But you know, and then it goes into the montage, and again, that goes on for way, way, way too long. They need to show us that one time, and that hey, they're looking for these gringos. They try to go straight because they're getting too much heat, and then that whole thing happens, and then what freaks them out is they see the white straw hat that the one guy they know is after them always wears, and I actually did really like the end scene after they have the big shootout. And they've both been shot, and they're ready to make their last stand. And for the first time, they actually start bickering.
Yeah.
And they're still like as they're bickering, they're helping each other get ready for this last showdown. So I thought it was like you need to do that a little bit sooner and show the tension in their relationship, but the fact that they still have
relationship.
But show the fact that they still hate each other back. So I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again, probably at 2 times speed. The biggest strength of the movie, the biggest strength of the movie is their relationship. Yeah, and it felt a little underbanked. They could have. I feel like there's a lot you could do with that, and they just didn't quite get there.
Marco, what's chat saying?
Well, nothing at the current moment. But what one of the things that I thought could have been better was what they originally were. Okay. Let me take a step back.
Yep.
I didn't like this movie as it is known.
I didn't figure that out. Like, what?
Whoa, Spencer.
I still don't know why.
How are you taking this news?
I watched
Tell us why.
a 40-minute documentary about Butch Cassidy, the actual Butch Cassidy, and found it way more interesting and fun to watch.
That's fair,
than
though.
the actual movie itself. There's that.
Okay, give us more.
One of the things that I think that the movie could have done in order to be a better movie was actually switch the main characters to where Sundance was the main character. I thought his character had more depth, his more mystery, more seriousness and excitingness. And the movie was trying to be exciting with like this weird main character that was kind of funny. Like, and I feel like if it was just backwards, if the movie was about Sundance Kid, I feel like it would have been better. That's my own opinion.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying. I was saying it needed more, and I think Nathaniel was kind of getting around to that too, is that it just needed a little more ounces of, like, their relationship needed to be developed more. And in order for a relationship to develop, there needs to be more than just the funny charm. There needs to be actually and the serious moments that happen at the very, very end, they just needed to happen earlier and more throughout, and the ending maybe would have had a more satisfying conclusion with him. You know, maybe the whole time Sundance is just is telling him how, hey man, these plans, like maybe Sundance, Butch Cassidy's the one that's pushing for all the robbing, and Sundance is the one that's trying to get out or something, and they clash over that, and then he keeps having to tell Sundance, hey, you don't know what you have in your girl, and that would have made, you know, their relationship have a little more sense, because they never even touched on that. Like, why was he clearly in love with the other guy's girl? Like, it was so weird. So
well,
it
he
just seemed
mentions like
there was a couple
if you had
elements
met me
there.
before you met Sundance, would we have been together? And she was like, yeah, but I met Sundance first.
Yeah, and I mean that stuff is just weird, and it's kind of unresolved. Like it doesn't really lead anywhere.
Yeah.
Their relationship didn't really lead anywhere, unless you want to say them getting shot and bickering at the end was any kind of resolution. But I don't think it was. Well, it just felt like it might have been bad at times, it might have been good at times, but there definitely didn't feel like, oh, this concluded and like that's the reason for this movie. Like I didn't get anything like that out of the movie.
So the problem, one of the problems was it definitely like their relationship was very funny. Like there's a lot of comedy bits that came out of that, but they didn't like lean into it just being a comedy. They could have done that, or they could have made their relationship more serious and brought the tension in earlier. But they kind of tried to take the middle way, and it's like it's funny, but it's not a comedy, and it just kind of overall, because that really the thing that I really latched onto the movie was the chemistry between them. I really liked it. I thought that they were both very charming in their own way, which was enough for me to carry the movie on 2 times speed. Let's put that big asterisk on 2 times speed. That was enough to carry the movie for me. I am saying it was too long, having watched it at double speed.
Yeah.
So,
Margaret, when did this movie come out?
yeah, 69. Nice.
That sound, yeah.
69?
It
That
was the
sounds right.
summer of 69. Might not have been summer.
So any extra thoughts on this movie?
1969, yes. So
We could put a man on the moon. Sorry, go ahead.
it's all right. One of the things that I found interesting from the documentary that I watched, I know that we're not actually watching the documentary, but the Butch Cassidy, Butch Cassidy, the actual Butch Cassidy, the person that actually was actually a really nice guy. Super nice, and
Well, he never shot anybody.
Yeah,
so-
well, there's that. I got that impression from the movie.
but and they did do a good job of portraying that he never shot anybody, so on and so on. But he was a phenomenal shot, and he actually went to jail for 2 years, and apparently was like a super like straight prisoner, and he got out on good behavior in like 18 months. So like all the things that was portrayed as him being the nice guy actually did hit, which I found interesting after watching the documentary. And then the other thing I found kind of interesting was was Etta, the person that played Etta, was not allowed to be on set when she wasn't in the scene because there was the producer. The producer said something along the lines of, "You're not allowed to touch the cameras." And she did because the cameraman on camera number like 7 or 8 on one of the scenes wasn't there, and she went up and filmed basically. And the producer was like, "Screw you, not happening."
weird bit of trivia.
So from then on, she wasn't allowed on set if she wasn't actually in the scenes. Going, yeah,
That's pretty funny. You could take her out of the movie, and I don't think you'd miss anything.
I don't.
Well, she was a big part in the actual
so
in the
we were
3
talking about
people. She was actually an incredibly like big part in their story, which is the reason why she was in there. But yes, in the movie, she
Does
barely
nothing.
didn't really add anything.
So either you take her out and just ignore that she exists, or you actually make her important to the story. And they kind of, again, they were a little middle way on it and kind of fell flat.
I feel like they swung and missed at both of those opportunities. So the real story, what are the parts that they got?
So he was, so he
tell
was
me,
a super nice guy.
45-minute interview.
Right,
Give us
so-
some more information.
Yeah.
So he, well,
You're like, the girl wasn't allowed on set. I'm like, 45 minutes, huh? That's what you got out of it?
well, I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk about a documentary that we weren't really.
No, but
Give
tell
us
us
some
like
facts about it.
give us
So,
some.
so he was a
Butch Cassidy
Mormon.
on
Butch Cassidy was
That
a
makes so
Mormon.
much sense.
Up
Why he
in
was sharing
Utah.
women.
Yeah, he's clearly
And
Mormon.
one of the
why he's super
reasons
nice.
why he went rogue or bad was because the government basically came in and took his land. Shocker.
Manifest Destiny. Woo.
There was some dispute between
eminent
the
domain.
state. I guess it was the state and the homeowners, the landowners, his parents, and then the state actually essentially took their land, and so he from then on was like, screw the government, screw big people, big banks, this, that, and the other. So that's why he started to go the route of being a bad individual, an outlaw,
Robbing
if you
banks.
will. And in the process of learning how to do all this, he became a super good cowboy in the sense that he was racing horses, he was doing shooting competitions, he was doing all these things, and he was like beating everyone, like literally everyone. The other thing he did was he was one of the first cowboys to implement the getaway process of having multiple horses along the path of his getaway. So like
They get tired.
let's insert however many miles that the next horse is set up, tied up to a tree, essentially resting for him in order to get there. And then he would, leave his very tired horse behind and get on the next one, and so on and so on. And that was one of the things that he implemented. He was the first, or one of the first cowboys to implement that. That was interesting.
He read Lord of the Rings because they did Rohan or Gondor did that. They'd had horse stations. Actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of empires that had horses did that. They would have horse stations. So if they needed to send a messenger, you would ride. Basically, they say, okay, how far does a horse go at full gallop? We're going to space the stations out of that. So you ride in, and then you hop on the next horse, and then you ride, and you hop on the next horse, and so that way you can make much better time.
Yeah, and the other thing that I thought was interesting was the actual portrayal of dynamite usage in that scene with the with the train. Which, by the way, there is no CGI, so them blowing up the thing was legitimate, like blowing up the thing.
When they're like falling over, I'm like, oh, that looks real.
No, 100%.
Those two guys that got knocked over,
That
I was like,
was
are they
just
dead?
stuntmen
For
for
real,
real.
just getting blown away.
And the scene where they blew up the safe and all the money was going flying, that was actually a real thing because they blew it up. And as it was literally raining, the actual cops, like during the actual scene of like real life, the cops were coming in during that time when all the rain was coming, when all the money was raining down and all the people were trying to catch the money on the ground and stuff like that. So I found that interesting. And then the last thing was they made out with on that particular bank robbery, they made out with like $20,000 at the time, which is incredible amounts of money.
That's like a horse cost $20.
Yeah,
that is so much money.
It was an incredible amount of money.
What year?
Wait,
what time did these guys? It was like late 1800s, right?
Who did they make out with?
The horses.
Mark.
I identify as a horse. I'm offended. Whoa. I identify as offended.
So Marco, what do you dislike most about this movie?
Well, a couple of things.
Way to go, Spencer.
I'm still trying to get
No,
this.
so a couple of things. One, the 4 to 5 minute PowerPoint slide that
already
was
talked
halfway
about
through
it.
this.
Right.
That was
Skip
one of
over
them. The 17 scenes per tree that they had to run away from. That was another one. Let's see. The lack of direction, if you will, when it came to the relationship between the two, which we've already discussed. Let's see.
I think a more interesting question would be, what did you like about this movie?
I actually, the one scene that I did like was when Butch Cassidy and Sundance were about to jump off the cliff, and he was saying, I just want to go and fight them. That was one of the things that I found interesting. Like, he just wants to go and face his maker, essentially. I found that scene very interesting. Plus, he apparently didn't know how to swim.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
That was
why.
an interesting-
You find out that's why he's sitting there going, I want to stay and fight, is because he's like, well, I don't know how to swim.
I can't swim.
And I mean, I'm sure that scene of them jumping off the cliff had to be a pretty revolutionary scene. I bet you there's probably not a whole lot of shots at that time of people making that kind of a cliff jump.
What year did this movie take place in? Like, what year were they around doing this? Or years, I guess. It's like late 1800s, right? Or Spanish-American War was early 1800s.
1866, Cassidy was born, so you figured...
So 1880s?
Yeah, late 70s-ish.
So $20,000 in 1880.
So he was 4.
Yeah.
Late 70s?
All right. He's 14.
1880. In 1880, $20,000 will be worth $600,000 today.
Yeah, that's bonkers. Oh, and the guy that was on the train itself actually was an actual person, and he did get blown up. He got blown up from one side of the train to the other, and the sheriff that hired the tracker to come out actually also gave him like a big promotion and a big like heroic thing because he was standing up to Butch Cassidy, who at the time was super well known for robbing banks and trains and all this stuff.
It was
and
so
one of the
clear
things.
so I really liked that scene because it was so clear that the kid on the train was clearly enamored with Butch Cassidy. He was like, oh my gosh, you're Butch Cassidy. But at the same time was like, no, I've been paid to do a job. And like the balls on that kid where he's like, Butch Cassidy. And he gets blown up. And the next time he's like, William, is that you? Come on, man. You don't want to get blown up again. So I thought that was great. Again, the first third I really liked. The last like quarter. And then the middle, if I could go in and fix that movie just by editing
There's
out
a good movie in there somewhere.
There's good stuff in there. That's again. So that's why I'm saying like to me it is still in that mid movie range, but I would watch it again because I really really liked Butch Cassidy and Sundance. So.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to rate it super high. It's not a 98.
on a somewhat side note and an unfortunate thing, Robert Redford did pass away just this past week, September the 16th, 17th, something along those lines. I apologize.
And he played Sundance Kid, right?
And he was the one that
Sundance.
played Sundance. So
I thought both him and Paul Newman
Rest in
did a
peace.
phenomenal job acting.
Rip Robert Redford. Also the. Yeah. So, anyways, so there's that too. Wrapping up statements. Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of said it, but there was definitely a lot of like moments, right? Like the blowing up the train, the interaction between him and the guy on the train, and that whole scene, great. I think the intro to the movie was strong in introducing the characters. I think that the conclusion was funny. You had a lot of funny stuff over there with them trying to talk Spanish and rob a bank at the same time, with the very ending fight scene being pretty interesting, incorporating some kind of reloading. So there was a little bit of sense, although they clearly shot more than 6 with each bullet, but with each gun. There were definitely moments. If I had a friend who loved older movies and older quirky like comedy movies and was more of a fan of westerns than I was, I would recommend this movie to them, and I'm sure they would enjoy it. When I watched it, I thought Nathaniel would probably like this movie, but to most people, I think that it's probably a little dated. It's definitely just long. It's just a long.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long.
It's just
Again,
a little too
I
long.
bet I could go in there and trim it down to an hour and 15 minutes and
Get in
lose
there.
nothing and release the fan edit of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and will be a much better watch. As like a shorter film. How do you define a short film? Short film's under an hour, right?
It's actually a wider range than you think.
Yeah,
40 minutes.
It's
A
longer
short
than
film
that.
can be kind of a short film can be kind of long, but typically a short film is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Midgets can be pretty tall.
4:10. That's the cutoff. There is a defined cutoff point for
I mean, come on.
There is no defined
Sure. But I feel like
duration,
40
but
minutes or
typically
under is
under
typical.
40.
Yeah.
And in the main thing is that it's significantly shorter than a feature length film is the definition.
right. And feature length is like over an hour or over 40 minutes.
I don't know. I don't think that there is
It's
a
a
defined.
little fuzzy.
concluding thoughts.
I'll
Spencer,
start.
any last thoughts?
I'll go first. Didn't like it. That's my summary.
I already gave my
and there you
concluding
go.
thoughts.
See you
So you
later.
can't go first. Okay, next.
I already gave my concluding thoughts.
There we
I
go.
liked it.
Spencer.
So
It
it's
was too
all
long.
it's all up to me.
Yeah, Spencer, bring us home.
And obviously, this is going to be not
I'll
your
go first.
preferred take, right?
The only
I
preferred.
enjoyed the chase scenes.
Interesting.
Hey.
I
I
didn't
think it makes perfect sense for westerns. I also hate that westerns never show the big cities.
They didn't. Other than New
Medium big
York, they didn't
cities.
go to any big cities.
Yeah.
That is the other thing that now that you mention it, I didn't think about it while I was watching it, but there's really not a whole lot of anything in it. They're in one town one time.
Yeah.
There's almost no buildings in this movie.
It's easier
So
to film.
here's a random fun fact that I found out. I found interesting. All but 3 people got incredibly sick because they filmed it in Mexico and drinking the water.
Ooh,
Guess what they were drinking?
tequila.
The 3 sodas and tequila, and it was filmed in Mexico.
Love that for them. Good drinks.
The three main actors, the Sundance, Butch Cassidy, and Etta were the 3, and they drank sodas and alcohol.
Oh, good for
Why do you
super
think
healthy.
they only drank beer until like 1900?
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, get us
All
to
right,
5.
so here we go. Spencer,
Spencer,
coming
are
back
you
at
ready?
you again.
Yeah, let's
Is
go.
it more board
Right-
games?
No, it's not board games this
Hell
time.
yeah, it's more board games.
So
we
the
gotta
category.
we gotta get to 5 board games.
so the
Yeah, we need 2 more. 2 more board games.
So the category this time it's the same concept. Rate these 5 without knowing what's coming next. But the category is assuming that you are in the modern era. What is the best form of transportation?
Well, Spencer's going to love this.
Well, it's hover car, obviously. We're past 20.
If you are in the
2005.
modern era, what is the best form of transportation if you were to go from from here to
Well,
North, to New
where
York?
to where
Broomstick.
matters.
All right,
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
true.
fair.
Where
All
to
right.
where matters.
From Charlotte,
Absolutely true.
From Charlotte to New York.
Charlotte to New York.
Bikes are out.
Bikes are out anyway, so
From Charlotte
those
to New York.
communist bikes are
Are you
gone.
ready?
the answer is Appalachian Trail.
All right,
Duh.
Spencer, you ready?
The number one, or the first,
first
form of transportation,
He's already telling you where to rank it.
horse.
Horse.
How long would a horse drive?
I would
That would
enjoy
take
it.
a long
4.
time. Would you enjoy it?
4.
8 hours on a horse
Well,
would
lower
be miserable.
lower than that is going to be me putting in effort.
That's
Right,
fair.
it's true.
That's fair. No.
That is true.
You're gonna get scooter.
I mean,
next.
okay. I mean, have you guys ever ridden horses for like more than an hour?
Yeah, it hurts.
More than- yeah.
I just rode them on the beach, and yeah, at one point it actually started to like. When I say gallop, I mean like move faster than a walk.
And you're like, ow, my testicles,
and I was like,
ow, my testicles.
wham, 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 and then I'm just like,
Riding horses was clearly made for
you need
designed
more
for women.
practice. you need more practice.
didn't know how to
riding, Greg.
handle that. I had no idea how to handle
So
it.
you
If you are a seasoned rider, you could do it. But if you're a newbie rider, you are going to be so sore. Do you ride horses
Should we
often?
demonstrate?
You should have seen this.
I don't even
Just
want to
like
know
that.
how you would
I don't know.
demonstrate. Let's just leave that up to
All right,
everyone's
continue.
imagination.
Next
So
time.
you put horse at
So
number
horse
4.
at
The
4
second
at the
item,
moment.
or the second form of transportation, car.
Car. 2.
2. Okay.
What's gonna be better than a car?
Okay.
Well, okay. Well, he did say to New York, so if he says
there's
plane
5
or
options.
train,
I don't
then
know.
better, Yeah.
How
That's
many
fair.
other-
I mean, 2 is a safe answer.
Electric scooter.
Okay. Your next item, or next form of transportation, bicycle.
Bicycle. 5.
Your example was Charlotte to
brother.
New York.
Amen, brother.
That's
Well, hey,
wild.
bicycle.
I would
These
Number 5.
individuals in the movie went from Utah to Wyoming to Oklahoma to Belize.
not on a bike.
Not on a
Bolivia.
bike.
Didn't they go to
But
Bolivia?
but
He threw the bike
Bolivia,
in the
sorry.
puddle.
My apologies. Bolivia. Not Belize. My apologies.
I would not choose death, which is what a bike
Well-
would do for me.
Here we go.
Okay,
The next
if I
item.
was going from here to the McDonald's down the road, I would choose plane over bike.
It's also biking uphill, Marco. So
So the next item on your list, bus.
it does depend on the bus.
True. Let's
Are you
assume, let's
driving the
assume-
bus, or just riding in the bus?
Am I driving? Do I get to drive the bus?
He
But
gets
I
to
don't
drive
If
know.
Spencer gets to drive a bus,
Insert
It is. I do have
your
my
own
CDL.
way of
so
doing
Let's
things, but it
assume
is a
Megabus.
bus.
Honestly,
Listen,
Megabus
I'm
not bad.
I'm not here to assume, Marco. So give me a bus.
All right.
Am I driving
Greyhound.
or riding?
Greyhound?
Driving or riding?
You're riding on a Greyhound. Are you a bus driver? And
I
you're
have a CDL.
Do you really?
I do.
I'm impressed.
dude, he loves cars. He loves. All right, so you're
F1
riding.
car.
You're
So
riding.
am I riding?
You're riding
So you-
in a Greyhound.
You are
riding
riding
a
in
Greyhound.
a Greyhound. You are not the driver of said Greyhound.
Got to be 3.
okay.
Okay. So right now, the
You've got
only
1,
thing
2,
left,
and 3, right?
which
Or
to
1
be
and 2.
honest,
Oh.
you have one left.
Bike
number
was
one
5.
is number one is left.
Horse was 4 and bus was 3.
Correct.
and car was 2.
Not listed.
Car was 2.
Cars 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Car is 2.
So
yeah.
the
So
number one-
the only thing left, your number one answer,
Space hopper.
Train.
Pogo stick.
which I'm not
Absolutely
opposed to
number
it.
1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there a
number
train that goes from Charlotte to New York? Let's
Yes.
just, I
Yes.
mean, we're assuming there
Yes.
is.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
almost guarantee you there is.
Is it nice?
Is it like the Harry
it's,
Potter train?
yeah.
Anything from a trolley?
I forgot about that edit.
What is a train?
Everyone
It's,
in Hogwarts Legacy.
Not
Anything off the
CSX.
trolley?
What is it?
No, it would probably be what is that?
Amtrak.
The Amtrak.
Amtrak.
You would have to. You would have to go a little
Amtrak
east,
goes from
You would have to go a little
Charlotte
east, probably.
to Greensboro, Chapel Hill, Raleigh.
all the way up.
and
Yeah,
straight
all
up.
the way up.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there you go. There's your list of 5 without knowing what's coming next. I think this one was much better
Yeah,
than
I
the
agree.
previous.
Yeah.
Yes. So my initial, I'm just throwing this out there. This isn't part of what you were asking, but my initial was either a train or a helicopter.
Ooh.
Helicopter.
Wherever it was,
Helicopter.
train
How
or
many
helicopter.
times did you have to refuel in a helicopter? Because I mean, I know
To
they
go to-
have like,
Whoa,
they have,
whoa.
like,
To go to
they have
New York?
decent range.
That's
Probably
too,
once.
That's too in depth.
Probably once.
That's too in depth of a question.
I'm just asking.
Also depends on the type of-
I was
Probably,
it'd be way-
probably
it'd be way
depends on the
quicker.
helicopter.
Honestly, I feel like car is better than helicopter because like. Isn't a helicopter too loud to like do anything to distract yourself from the however many
So much fun. Have you ever been in a helicopter?
No.
Oh, they're phenomenal. They're so much fun. I went into Denali National Park in a helicopter. Granted, yes, the scenes were phenomenal.
You mean McKinley?
But
Mount McKinley?
yes, it is Mount McKinley now, but it is still Denali National Park.
What did you do there,
So
Marco?
there you go. I got
He
engaged
renamed it to
on top of
McKinley.
a mountain,
Hey,
looking over
attaboy.
to Mount McKinley, also known as
Shout
Mount
out,
Denali.
Jen.
African
There you go. Shout out.
Had a girl, Jen.
So, but yes, a helicopter is phenomenal. I've been on a couple of them, two or three of them. They're phenomenal. They're really, really
I'd
fun.
love to, but they're expensive.
Yeah. So, Anyways, there's that. Let's do the
Plus,
plus
according to Hollywood, they crash and explode at the slightest inconvenience. So,
well,
like if you
fog.
breathe
That's
on them,
fair.
they just go kaboom.
So let's get into the Rotten Tomatoes before we give our own. So same thing, but this time we're each going to go around and say your own rating, meaning what you think the critics gave it. So each individual, go ahead and go around the room. Do not speak with one another. Just give your rating.
I already know my rating.
Nathaniel, you can go first.
It came out in 1969. It got a 69. Easy. Easy.
69.
Game is
Spenceley.
2.
73.
73. And last but not least, Greggy.
This is what I think it's going to be.
The critics. Yep.
Oh, critics.
71.
71, 69, 69 and
73.
73. None of you are correct. It's much, much higher than that.
Okay.
Which, stupid.
When you said critics the second
that
time,
makes
I
sense.
critic- okay.
That makes sense.
The critics gave it an 89, which is
That's a little
absurdly
high.
high.
That's a wee bit high. What are they saying about it?
they enjoyed the chase
Good
scenes.
question.
True.
Let's see. Butch Cassidy is a visibly beautiful film to gaze upon.
Yeah.
You see, I'm telling you.
That's complete nonsense.
It's because at the
That doesn't
time,
tell me
those were
anything.
impressive shots. And I think
Butch
that
Cassidy and
now
the
it's
Sundance
aged.
Kid, I could watch it with my eyes. 10 out of 10.
So bad. It's just. Anyways, going
Right,
back
so
to
fan.
okay.
69.
Wow. Let's.
It's probably higher than that, honestly.
So you gave it a 69?
I'm going to go with 69. It's the funny number, and I'm hoping
Spencer?
I'm right.
75.
75.
82.
Greg. 82. Greg is the closest. The score is
Don't say
absurd.
93.
92. Oh, it's just
I'm
so
telling you,
bad.
okay,
I
It is
like
starting
this
so
movie. This is
starting
not
to-
a 92.
I'm starting to
Bad.
understand the rating system because it's not. That is not. It's not
Right.
a.
So what that means is 92
Yes.
out of 100 people were like me, like, yeah, I like that.
Yes, exactly. And I could see the vast majority of people going, well, it's better than bad. Like it's not. It's closer to good than bad.
Right.
For what it was,
Albeit
it was good.
marginal. Like if this
Right.
is 50-50, it's here.
Give it a
Right.
92.
It's not most
No,
people
but
are
it's
saying
not-
it's a 9 out of
if
10. And that's why
let's-
this is a little
Yes.
confusing because it's not most people saying it's a 9 out of 10. It's most people saying it was
It was a 55.
slightly above average, right? I think it's like 3.5 for the user,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, 3.5.
70.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm going to rate it. So I'll give my personal score. My personal score is a 60-65, like in that range. Again, I think if I made a fan edit of it, I could bump it up to a 75.
I'm going to give it like a 52.
Greg gave it a 52.
Yeah.
Spencer?
78.
78.
Hell yeah.
Nathaniel, what was yours?
65.
65. Wow. Do you think I can shock you guys by saying I gave this a 14?
Even for how much you dislike this movie, that feels I feel like 20 something.
It's not that bad.
I despised this
Wait
movie.
till you see
I
my
did
fan
not
edit. You'll get it up to a
enjoy-
24.
I did not enjoy this movie even in the slightest. I had such high hopes for it. I had such high hopes for it because I do like Westerns. I've watched many Westerns. This is just a bad one. I'm sorry. It is objectively a bad movie when it has a 4 to 5 minute PowerPoint halfway through. I'm sorry. That is a
You're really
factual
fixated
statement.
on that.
Or
watch it on 2 times speed and see how you feel about
it's
it.
going to be bad still because it'll still be too long. And
No,
it will
it was an
still
hour
have
long.
a
It was
2-minute PowerPoint attached to it.
It was only 2 minutes for PowerPoint, and
Right,
I
bad.
kind of zoned out during that part.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the whole point I'm trying to
I
make
agree.
here.
Marco, I'm
Yes.
agreeing with you. I didn't score it really high.
God, it's just bad. Anyways,
I disagree with that.
that concludes Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
That
Kid.
concludes Marco is wrong about everything. the movie.
Well, buckle up because
Oh, I'm
in
so
2
excited.
weeks we will be back here and celebrating the movie birthdays of not one but 2 007 classics.
This is my moment in
So
the
both.
sun.
So I will say this: both Nathaniel and Marco are very big 007 fans.
Except Daniel Craig. Get the hell out of here. Blue eyes, blonde
the
hair.
Best?
Like,
Who's the best?
so for me, it's either, and you could toss it between these.
It's Connery.
It's either Connery,
Yeah, it's Connery.
or Brosnan. But I think
Yeah, Connery.
over
But I
Brosnan, 'cause-
agree that those are the top two.
Yeah.
So we'll be
Roger
watching,
Moore is a good James Bond, but his movies are just so absurd that they're maximum. They're like peak James Bond when you think about what is James Bond. But they're just like too much.
So I'm actually like I'm not on the same boat as you as far as Daniel Craig not being a good James Bond. I think that the Daniel Craig movies are the least James Bondy movies.
It's both for me.
I don't think him specifically. I think he accomplishes the very suave, charming.
I disagree.
But yeah, I'm fine with that. I do think that they lean more on him being like a Jason Bourne rather than
too young.
Let me show you the instance where I knew this was not my Bond.
Okay.
It's in Casino Royale.
Okay. Well,
where he goes up
he's
and
like,
says,
I don't care which one.
Martini shaken out stern. Why do I give a damn? I'm like, so you don't get James Bond.
But I would argue that is more
And
the
you'd be
writing,
wrong.
the writing of him, and
Yes.
he didn't improv that line.
I know he didn't, but again, blonde hair, blue eyes, get the hell out of my office.
That's fair. Anyway, so what are the two that we're going to be watching? The two James Bonds.
Shoot. Dr. No and something
It's
else.
Dr.
Give me
No,
one
and it's one other
Dr. No,
classic.
and I think it's Never Say Never Again, or is it Live and Let Die? No. I think it's Never Say Never Again.
second. Hold on. Give me one second. I'm sorry, people.
Nope.
Okay, some of the James Bond intro songs have been really good. Some of them have been bad.
All right, I got it.
Some of them are
Sorry.
really good.
All right, so Dr. No and Never Say Never Again.
I was right. Bingo.
Yes. Those are the two movies that we will be doing on October the 7th. So this is
Nice.
October
I
7th,
think-
Dr. No,
I think-
Never Say Never Again.
What year did Never Say Never Again come out?
1983.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's Roger Moore.
Okay. No, I'm excited. We might get a little thematic and get a little dressed up. Who knows? Maybe we'll make some martinis. We'll see.
I'm sorry. I love James Bond. We are stirring our martinis. Do not shake a martini. We're not monsters.
But we're excited. If you guys like the show, please like and subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a chat. Leave us a message. We want to hear what kind of movies you want us to watch. Join with us. Watch those movies so that next week you can tune in and give us your own thoughts. We'd love to interact with you guys. Thank you, Spencer, for joining us on the show. Let's give it up for Spencer, everybody.
Nice left-handed shake.
We love having people on the show, and we appreciate him taking the time to be here and to listen
with Spencer.
to our,
Woo. I'm what?
to our nonsense.
Wow. No, I'm just kidding.
Not a
I
chance.
love you, Marco.
Not a chance.
To our nonsense.
Just bad.
But
bad takes
we're looking
all
forward to
around.
seeing you all in a couple weeks. Peace out. Yeah, so this is pretty much how the shows go. And I'm
Nice.
surprised this is the first show you've been on.
Hey, listen.
We've only done
It
3 of them.
only took Marco to invite me. Why did you take that off?